Hello and welcome to Commentary is Magic live stream of BABSCon events. Today with you is Hifrog and with me are...
Eminently sensible.
And Ivory Starlight.
And we are going to be commentating today Top 8 Harmony event for you, which is a continuation of what we had yesterday. Are you guys excited?
I'm quite excited.
I'm always excited.
So yeah,
It looks like we've got our Continental's champion from last year on the right, and Solano combo, I would guess, on the left.
technically last 2 years?
I believe that
true.
would mean we have Bugle on the right side and Sokol on the left side.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Selena versus Fireworks.
Oh boy, the combo mirror match, everyone's favorite.
Today we're going to have Vinyl on the right.
Yeah, Vinyl was on the left every match yesterday.
She always brings the unexpected tricks when it's top 8 time.
Given that this version left white, there isn't quite as much like them.
Both of these decks, although we consider them both combo, play quite differently, and both have pretty unique win conditions. The Vinyl deck is a mill deck, primarily, and the one on the left, with Solano, tries to score points just using the main, and flipping her many, many times.
But I'm probably going to adjust her for... This was kind of like a recent thing.
Also, each deck, as it acquires its combo pieces, does function very differently. The Solano deck typically plays more like an aggro deck, up until the point where you flip Solano multiple times, and the Vinyl deck tends to favor a control strategy until the milling starts.
Welcome to Top 8, everybody. This is going to run as a effective Tier 2 event. This means that these are going to be single elimination rounds in Top 8 with a time limit.
Well, we'll see if Fireworks do any better than Paradox Pony.
In front of you, you should have a deck list for your opponent. Does anyone not have a deck list for your opponent?
I would say that Solano is going to have a difficult time here in the mid-game, since their combo depends on troublemakers, and Vinyl likes to have 2 Nightmare Moons out, which prevents any troublemakers from being flipped up.
Mm-hmm. He
So
can
just-
use Cerberus, though, to flip them down. Not sure if he wants that necessarily, but that's a possibility.
Very true.
Ask for rulings from Aura or myself. If you disagree with Jesus' ruling, you can appeal it to one of us and we can work on that.
As
Yeah,
an early bet, I would go with Vinyl here, but it's certainly anyone's game.
Yeah, there's a couple god hands you can get with the Solano deck to where the points just come through rapidly, and it can be difficult for Vinyl to catch up, but I guess we shall see.
Yeah, let's have it.
I'm less okay with this.
I'm so...
I think I'm okay with it. My opponent has 0 points. I don't care if they... Yeah. Does anyone have any more normal streaming things? Remember, please show your badge. Remember, the field of view is going to be over the
Yeah, come on guys, show your badges. We don't know who you are.
Yeah, Bugle and Sokol.
Anyone not will appear on stream? Okay, we're all fine with that. All right.
Question.
Yes.
Can I have a paper pen for in-game notes?
Yes.
Not on the board.
It's nice to see that we have some decks in top 8 that we didn't see yesterday, which means we are going to see
Yeah.
them today.
Such as what I assume Sokol is still calling Turn Down for Mutt.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think a lot of decks we haven't seen on stream.
One match, so...
Did you guys try and swap it or something? Or is that me? This is marked in...
Well, hopefully those decks that we haven't seen win, so they end up coming down to stream.
So, Nurturing Nature yesterday was max apparently.
Oh, cool.
Jeffrey with Chrysalis is also in top 8, which is great.
Yeah.
Both Carrie and Richard are in top 8 as well, so Poppy for the win.
Poppy has better odds than any other deck of going all the way, since it's got 2 already in top 8.
What if we get final Poppy versus Poppy? That would be so funny.
That would be crazy.
I was just thinking, can the final be Poppy versus Poppy? That sounds amazing.
We've already seen that match on stream, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was also surprisingly slow.
Well, it was 2-1.
Yeah.
Like, for what I would consider like an aggro-ish deck, it was very slow.
Yeah, since they're both pink, they were prioritizing taking out the most important targets before they could do anything, and both of them have one most important target, which is Sea Poppy. So they actually were pretty good at disrupting each other.
So which deck out of top 8 do you think is going to win?
Well, just on the basis of like...
If you took a look at them already.
Going into the tournament, I had my bet on Nightmare Moon combo. But now that I've seen all of the decks, I think there might be a deck or two that could beat Nightmare Moon combo if they manage to face off one-on-one. But I think Nightmare Moon combo is still the most well-rounded deck, so its odds are still the best.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna agree. I think the Nightmare Moon combo will likely come out victorious here. However, I do think that all the other top 8 decks have a strong fighting chance depending on matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's absolutely matchup dependent. I think that Silverstream Yellow and Tempest White both have a chance of beating Nightmare Moon one-on-one. Sokol absolutely does as well, though I don't think his odds are quite as good.
Yeah, that Silverstream deck is an aggro assassin, so if the matchups are against the aggro players, then Silverstream will likely make it all the way.
Anything that runs Meadowbrook has at least a very strong out against a Nightmare Moon combo, and the particular Silverstream Yellow also is running Tea with Discord, which is a wonderful way to get troublemakers out.
like control do I want to have,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because like there was actually more frightening in there.
Especially since, from what I know, Bugle usually
The best thing is for me, I just like
plays Nightmare Moons, so we can get rid of them before he could even do anything with them.
not that I ever end up properly doing that, but you know, by intent.
One of the advantages of Tea with Discord is it actually dismisses face-down troublemakers. So you can get rid of Nightmare Moon before she flips, which is almost impossible to do.
Might be like reasonably controlling. This is more of an aggro.
However, this is all baseless speculation at this point, as we don't even know if Nightmare Moon combo is going to make it past this first round.
Yeah, Sokol just might go blazingly fast. Because I
That is
think that's
always an option.
what usually happens with that deck.
Well, that's what it hopes to do. Typically, the mulligan will be for being able to get Solano flipped as many times as possible, especially since he knows that the Nightmare Moon combo snowballs pretty hard.
Yeah. And with 45-minute time limits, if Sokol gets out fast enough and then just tries to play spoiler to whatever Bugle does, he could have a chance to win to time, even though this is an elimination round.
It's much harder than a Swiss though.
There are some times I don't.
But yeah, that's the thing with fireworks, is that they don't score points very early.
Lord. Looking at Sokol's hand, if he is going first and he puts those 2 epics down, he makes Bugle's life much more difficult.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't have a lot of the point acceleration there. Yeah, I expected him to mulligan that.
Yeah, like, the problem with Crystal is that while he stops Bugle, he kinda stops himself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 45-minute game would end 0-2. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's still a win.
Funnily enough, the only deck list that we don't have is Bugles, and I think that's like the most deck list we knew beforehand.
Yeah. I see Rainbow Shine in Bugle's hand. And a Fire of Friendship, which is very nice to have.
I believe he has 2 Rainbow Shines.
I see a Daybreaker.
Yeah, and a First Mate Mullet.
Daybreaker can win a Nightmare Moon single-handedly.
That's a good point. Granted, Pink Purple is quite good at preventing a fair fight.
That's true. I believe we're waiting for the round to actually start.
Yep.
Come on, dude. You can.
And the
Okay.
game begins.
And Sokol flips immediately. And Beagle doesn't miss out on his free AT, and uses Gyro right away to find Sneak Attack. And plays it immediately to find the Nightmare Moon. That's a way to do it.
Why did Bugle have 3 AT?
He flips Solano.
Yep.
Oh, of course. Sokol is kind of just daring Bugle to play Nightmare Moon at his problem.
Looks like he drew a Starlight Glimmer. He will likely play it.
I think I see 2 more Rainbow Shines in his hand as well.
Everything's getting played at home. He is very much expecting to drop 2 villains.
Okay, he gets back Sneak Attack.
Bugle is working quite hard to get 2 Nightmare Moons as quickly as possible.
Oh, sorry.
Well, with Mullet, Sokol can do a double face-off right now. The question is, does he want to do that?
Yeah. It's a solid point lead.
Or Spitfire works
That's
too.
good enough. And you keep your mullet, which is an invaluable farming tool later in this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good start for Sokol. Because this point lead is 7 now, I think?
Yep,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, he is already halfway through his points on the second turn, or well, third turn.
Blackmail makes it that Bugle at least has a way to catch up if he gets control back of this game quickly. So that's good for Bugle, but if Sokol keeps his momentum, then it won't matter too much.
Yeah, Sokol has Bug Bowl Championship in his hand, which can really help.
If Bugle doesn't get his hands on some type of immediate trick, Sokol could be ending this game very quickly.
Yeah, but I believe Bugle will drop Nightmare Moons now.
Sokol at
have
least
to.
has a turn before they can flip up, so he might be able to swing a double. But probably not.
He would
Yeah.
have to play one of the Buckball Championships if he wants to do that efficiently.
And then he'd only have 2 actions left, so it's not
Yeah, not
terribly
enough for
likely.
Mullet.
Probably, yeah. Given that you forcefully through to.
I would think the best call for Sokol here is to play his Buckball on his next turn, just so that he has something to confront once those Nightmare Moons are up, and he can keep chugging through his score.
Bugle finds a belly flop though.
That does help a lot.
You know what? I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna hold on to this. Probably a good idea. Retire, Barrett, a home. Start of your turn.
And he has Rainbow Shine to play that belly flop without any AT.
I believe Bugle is still over home limit by 1.
Has Bugle not flipped his main?
He is not.
Nope, yep,
Then he is in home limit excess.
And he
It looks
notices
like he
that.
noticed it.
The gyro is not a huge loss.
I have a home limit of 3, not 4, so I will actually just belly flop there at the end of your turn.
Can he belly flop there? He doesn't have any AT. Oh, he can exhaust Rainbow Shine before the end of his turn, yeah.
Yeah. A slight rewind needs to occur, which Sokol could technically say no to, but it's very short.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And I think it's a good thing for Sokol anyway that now there's no belly flop to worry about.
Right. He gets to have a turn where he knows exactly what's going to happen.
I believe technically the rewind would have had to happen because Bugle had an illegal home limit.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, but he could just, like, you rewind back to the retiring to home limit, not back to when he had the priority, right?
Oh, priority in the wrap-up phase is very complicated, so I'm going to assume it all works out, but that's only because I don't want to open that can of worms.
We'll leave that to the experts.
Did someone say Flurry Heart?
Oh god. No,
Please no.
Ivory, we've been through so much yesterday. Because we had
Flurry
like
Heart
4
versus
Flurry
Flurry Heart.
Hearts, yeah,
And the
at the same
players
time.
disagreed on how Flurry Heart was supposed to work.
Okay, that's a double.
Oh, I guess Sokol had saved an action. Okay, this is exactly what he was hoping for. This is huge. Blackmail is now gone. Hopefully another one doesn't come up. And he has a very impressive point lead. All he needs to do is flip Solano a couple of times, and this game is his, and he has about 40 minutes to do that.
It's a question now of whether or not I stall out. Yeah, you did burst a little faster than I expected.
So did I. Like, that was ridiculous.
Game 5, start a turn, I have Self Showdown.
Yeah, and the thing is, Nightmare Moons won't discard much from Sokol because he already played all his cards.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing about a blisteringly fast aggro deck. You're already burning through your hand.
Yeah, like, Nightmare Moons draw him card, actually. Well, I guess
Losing
there's
the
some...
Cerberus and the Tempest.
Yeah,
That
but
does hurt.
they don't do anything without a dilemma.
The most important thing for Sokol right now is Buckball.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other foot, I'll flip final, and then I must
And there it is. I can see it in his hand.
my deck.
He'll have to discard them though, because only one
Alright.
Nightmare Moon is processed.
My deck is not random.
No, we went through both Nightmare Moons. That's where this Under the Wire in the discard came from. That was the second Nightmare Moon trigger.
Oh, I must have missed that one.
Yeah, me too. And Vinyl finally flipped out of Nightmare Moon.
Finally flips. Final is very cheap to flip, but the thing is, when you have Nightmare Moon, you can make it even cheaper, so it's usually worth it to wait.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, Sokol has to hope now that Backball Championship won't be discarded by Nightmare Moon.
Yep, that's his path to winning very soon. However, he still has a path to winning slowly, because he could just try to farm the Nightmare Moons.
Yeah.
I'm going to exhaust.
From what Bugle said in the live chat down there, like on the ground just now, is he thinks he may have already lost this game, but it's still up in the air. He has lost some faith, which he lost faith last time he was on stream. We might be bad luck for him.
Though he does have Destiny Drains, so he could just Destiny Drain the Buckball Championship.
That would be very helpful.
Yep.
I actually think that that's the correct move here, because that guarantees that the only way that Sokol can get through this is to start hitting the Nightmare Moons, in which case he can switch to a control strategy till he finds Fireworks.
Right, Bugle has a lot of ways to prevent Sokol from getting the farm. It might not be enough, but it's definitely a game plan.
Yeah, I don't think Sokol has any other dilemmas in his deck, so... Oh no, he has Washout's performance. So, even with
that
Backball
makes things
gone...
much more difficult.
Yeah, with Backball gone, he can try to go for Washout's performance and Easy Spy, and just hope
Yep.
that he can uncover Easy Spy.
All he needs to do is wait a few turns, gain actions, and then dig for that dilemma.
Yet there's the Destiny Drain.
On
Yep,
Backball,
Bugle
yeah.
agrees with you, Ivory.
Excellent. that all feels good.
Beagle is happy to see Backball gone from the hand.
Or I was like, you know, if Nightmare Moon didn't catch that, that would be fantastic.
Good news. Nightmare Moon won't catch it.
I guess I still
Yeah, now Nightmare Moon can't discard Backball Championship.
That's true.
Shut that. Yeah, you do have the
So now the hope is that Nightmare Moon will hit Washout's performance if and when he draws it.
That's what Bugle needs to happen. What Sokol wants to do is make sure he draws Washout's performance in the main phase and
Yeah.
not in the start of turn. So he wants to wait a couple of turns, hope no Washout performance comes to hand, and then just dig maybe 5 cards until he finds one.
Yep. And since he's at 11 points, they're both getting 5 ET per turn, so... Shouldn't take too long for him to bank enough.
Oh. We might be backwards there? I see... That's a Washout's performance in the banish pile, isn't it?
That, I believe, is...
Oh, am I just silly?
No, that's definitely not Buckball Championship.
yeah, that's also
Why would that be banished? We heard Bugle say Buckball. I'm just
Yep.
confused, I suppose.
that's one immediate.
could have played that.
So now it's yeah, I mean I would
Oh well, I
There's
guess
no
we
other
missed
way.
something. Yeah, there's nothing there really that could banish it.
Well, that... If that accidentally made its way to the banish pile, that would be a big deal.
Yeah, it would.
But hopefully there's a reason for it.
at least it's not that.
Yeah.
I wasn't even really thinking about that, but that's a thought.
Maybe he grabbed it accidentally instead of the third buck ball.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit slow.
We can ask. But I'm not sure if this is worth bringing Judge over, since we're unsure.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
have been that Bugle just chose Washout's performance.
Hard to say.
I want to see right now because it is going away. I can't take my OT. I'll leave it there.
Okay. Right. I'm not used to having this much AT when I'm in this position. Draw, slow down. I will reveal. Hey, look, it's an event.
There's the fireworks.
Goes into his hand. That's pretty nice.
And he gets to draw another card, I believe.
This almost certainly.
Yep. And he has the option to play that fireworks before his troublemaker phase, if he'd like.
The answer is I want to mill us, for sure. Like, that is what this deck does.
Right.
However, you're at the point where a DFO potentially... Well, DFO with these two problems will not win the game. So that part is a little scary. So it's a question of, will you be able to get an extra point? And if you do, will I be able to stop you?
He does have a belly flop in his hand, so
Well, it would be gone if Bugle chose to mill.
Us?
that's true.
He has to hope that he draws cards that can trick Sokol.
Oh, that is the wrong one.
Aha!
Aha!
Wrong one. We need to...
Oh boy. Okay.
How can we fix it? Is that actually fixable?
Yes, because this is
I wasn't supposed to use Buckball anyway. And I don't think I did not draw another dilemma.
Yeah, it looks like the judge is going to go through the deck.
no, I can fix it
Yeah. So I did not
Oh,
draw
okay,
or
yeah.
discard the other dilemma.
without reordering.
Yeah.
So like,
I think the way if you fix this is to just have a judge go into the deck, find the buck ball, and replace where the buck ball is with the washouts performance.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy fix.
Yeah, that's
actually.
fair.
That's very nice.
Thank you. Good call.
yeah, thankfully it was still on the draw.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Could have also checked your hand, but
I mean, yeah.
If he had it in his hand, he would have played it. Wait, he doesn't want to be discarded at this point.
Right. No, I would have absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to draw a turn.
Commentators save the day.
We can be useful too.
Not me, though. I just sort of exist.
But I think... yeah. Okay.
So where we left off was Bugle has this very difficult decision. Does he do what the deck is made for, which is mill, by playing fireworks? But if he does that, then he's going to leave his problems not covered up for a turn, which could give Sokol the chance to score, which could put him right in range to win the game, which is very dangerous.
So, I think you just played the control game here, because Sokol is playing mono blue. And what Bugle basically can do is just to wait for Sokol to blue all his possibilities to, like, score more points.
This does not actually just make me lose the game, because Selena will be on the correct side, that side, on your turn. That is important. We're going to push her home, so you actually have to work on that part again. And then we're going to pick.
It looks like Bugle is going for the fireworks rather than just a total control game.
And all troublemakers over. So your tokens are gone. Nightmare Moons.
Selena
We didn't
flips.
get to see this last time on stream. This
Yeah,
is fun.
He never played fireworks.
Cover both of these. I will. We'll just
Yeah, Sokol can get really lucky right now.
Yeah, luck is a huge factor. If he just ends up with Washout's performance, well, actually, he doesn't want it yet, because the Troublemakers will be off for a turn. So really what he wants is something like Daybreaker to just score him more points.
and discard these two.
And what he really wants is for Bugle to not draw anything meaningful. And it
Right,
seems like
he
he
needs that.
didn't. He has 2 Napcakes, and I don't think they're very useful.
If Sokol plays something like Night Glider Overpowering, then it could matter, but most of Sokol's deck is larger than 3.
Yep.
Perfect. There we go.
There's really something I should have scoped out on your deck list. Oh,
I think Night Glider is actually the only... Oh, there's also Loyal Pony.
Well, that would matter. Loyal Pony would be a good thing to play.
given their
Wait, I don't think he has Night Glider in his deck. I can't see it in the deck list.
Nope, it looks like he does not.
Yeah, he has...
He switched it out for Daybreaker.
That's fair.
Okay, here comes the spectacle for belly flop. Makes sense. Shouldn't those friends at home be unfrightened?
The
Only
way
at
he
the end
played
of his
it,
turn.
the way he played it is he played the fireworks before the uncover step, so the Nightmare Moons will be flipped back face down. And
Oh, I
then
see,
all
yeah.
the friends at home will come back up.
Pass turn at this point.
Okay.
Start
that doesn't help me.
at the start of this turn, or at the start of your turn, we turn everything over again.
How long were the rounds? Yeah, no, that
He can exhaust Starlight again.
Yeah. Having
And the
immediate
Rainbow
action
Shines.
generators helps a lot.
Yeah, he basically played fireworks for 180.
Yep.
Turn over all your characters.
Oh, right.
If only Solana said when this side is turned face up, score 2 points.
Yeah, that would make this game very easy for him.
That would be so broken.
Yeah, it would be. I'm just going to flip Chaos Capital of the World and score 2 points. Or I'll play fireworks myself.
Yep.
Oh, I see a Shout's performance. And
Oh my
Nightmare Moons are
goodness.
turned down.
I think he might have 2 washouts performance in hand. That's really terrifying for him.
For
But I
Vigo.
don't know if he has enough AT to confront both problems, because there's no
Right.
friends in his hand either.
That's
And
what
that
he's drawing
might
for.
help.
Okay,
that helps.
Spitfire can help, yeah.
Because washout performance makes it easier to play friends, which isn't helpful if you don't have any in hand.
Beagle does
thing
have
is-
belly flop though.
Right, but Sokol just needs to put these down so that he has something to confront next turn, even if Bugle can prevent him from doing anything this turn. He
Yeah.
really just needs these washouts on the board.
Yeah, because I don't think Bugle can do anything about those dilemmas himself.
Right, which is a big deal.
If he plays
Especially
his
if he puts
second...
2 out.
Yeah, if he plays his second washout's performance,
Then there aren't enough troublemakers
Yeah.
in Bugle's deck.
and I don't think Bugle runs any problem replacement.
Well, I guess it depends on what that last two is.
The thing that can Bugle do is do a double face off himself. But that's about it, and I'm not sure if he'll have enough resources to do that.
Right, especially with these Nightmare Moons. He would have to go to the washouts performances, which I think are 6 for him.
Mm-hmm.
They are 6 for both players. Getting to play the Spitfire for only 1 AT is
Very
definitely
nice.
good value.
It looks like Sokol might just be planning to confront Nightmare Knight What a Fright this turn, but I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what his plan is at this point.
I think I would do it the other way. I would play Spitfire to Nightmare Knight, What of Right, and put tokens at Washout's performance. Because
So
then
the tokens don't go away.
they don't go away, and... Or maybe I would play everything to Washout's performance.
That's probably what I would have chosen. But Sokol might have something in mind that we can't quite see yet.
Well, I see Changeling can change, that can help. No,
Yeah.
he... Is that ever Vigilant? What's the
Yes.
other two? Okay.
He might be trying for a trip. No. Just he's trying for a double confront, maybe?
That's a second Washout's performance in his hand, is it not?
It
is.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have another friend, so playing it kind of just halts all of his momentum.
If he's... Oh wait, never mind.
So yeah,
I don't think Washout's performance is location restricted. Is it?
it's not.
Okay.
I know about the Belly Fog.
So, I would still play Spitfire to Washout's performance, though.
Yeah, I can't see why he's playing them there.
He's going to lose the tokens. I think the correct play would be to put the tokens at Washout's performance as well. At
Yeah.
least get another point, get him closer to winning.
Yeah, and then next
Yeah.
turn you're all set for confronting again.
He wants to be sure that he's overcommitted so that he can confront for sure. But he might as well do that all at Washout's performance.
Yeah. Because Nightmare Moon won't be there.
And then you can confront the next turn too.
Because that was the thing, I was like, do I want to give you a choice? Because, like, I could always...
He really doesn't need all of the tokens at Nightmare Knight What If Right in order to be safe, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
He only needs 2 of them.
a lot of AT, and I know you're probably sitting on some of them.
Well, Sokol, you know at least about Belly Flop.
Right, but
And there's also 2 Nupcakes there.
yeah, I think he's also trying to be prepared for the Napcakes, even though he doesn't know for sure that they're there. They might be trapped in Magicite or something.
I don't
Okay.
think the Napcakes would have been a good play in that situation.
Okay, a Belly Flop on Spitfire, makes sense.
This is still a very good position for Sokol, because
Yeah.
he ends up with another point, and these points are very meaningful.
And
Because
Beagle
we're
blew
maybe-
another Belly Flop.
We're maybe 20 minutes into this game, so Bugle would have to be scoring reasonably quickly to catch up.
Oh, well. Scare all this.
And that will flip his main yet again.
That happens a lot with this deck.
I see a Spitfire, I think. And a Daybreaker.
Those are both good to have.
And I
So-
believe the last ever Vigilant.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of tech.
But there's
to
a
work
good
with.
chance they all will be discarded.
Right. He keeps at least one, though.
Okay, misfiring discard pile. I don't think Sokol has any recursion, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Absolutely perfect. How many cards have we got? Well,
Sokol has 12 cards left, and 3 points to score.
Yeah, it's going to take at least one more fireworks to mill him, which will take time. And that's good for Sokol. Because at this point, even if he can't win, he wants it to take as much time as possible for Bugle to lock him out.
If he flips... if he draws the easiest spy and manages to play it,
Then it's
That'll be
pretty much
amazing.
game over.
yeah. He would still need one more
Unless-
point, but still.
Unless Bugle can get the Nightmare Moon over where Easy as Pie would be before it flips.
I'm not sure if he can. Nightmare Moon, the third Nightmare Moon is currently in his discard pile. And I don't think Bugle really has anything besides fireworks to, like, have
He
her...
does have It's Gonna Work in his hand, I believe. So he could just put the Nightmare Moon into play.
Well, he doesn't have white for that.
I believe one of his fire friendships are white right now.
Yeah, but that's not
Yeah,
enough.
he just needs one more white
Yeah.
somehow.
Not sure how many times I can get back this thing. I don't think I can get enough missing back to stop you yet. I think you have one turn left. So
So yeah, I'm not quite sure why Sokol didn't just play everything to the dilemma. Because I don't
Yeah.
think Bugle can really do anything about that. Because if he did play everything to the dilemma, he'd have all of his tokens there, and the main, and the Spitfire. And Bugle
Yeah,
needs to
and
remove
if-
all of that to stop him from confronting.
And if Bugle used It's Gonna Work, it wouldn't cause any frightens with the Nightmare Moon. However, even with that, Sokol is in a very good position here, and he has a fine chance of winning this game.
Yeah. I think the reason why he might have played everything to the problem is so Bugle can't do a single face-off, maybe?
Okay, that is a good thing to consider.
one of those is mullet. Okay, that's great. Less great is now I don't want to play this thing.
And all the underwater.
Bugle doesn't seem like he would be very thrilled to do a double. It's really not efficient with his deck to do something like that. But push comes to shove, he probably would have.
You lost all your ever vigilance. You've lost all your mullets. You've lost all your under the wires.
There's still another pair of troublemakers.
I'm not as well. I guess you do have a problem.
My question was like, oh, did he have the problem replacement?
I think the best thing for Sokol right now is to draw into Cerberus and Easy Spy and just play both of them. That'll be kind of amazing.
Bugle would be able to respond to that in time, though, I think.
Would he?
Now that he has Mist Main, he has his white, and he has It's Gonna Work next turn.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Two. But I only have two.
How did he get Mist Main back into his hand?
There's another dilemma.
It was discarded, I believe.
Okay, that will also good.
So he paid 2 to get it back.
I see.
Yeah, he used the mill effect.
And he does have the Fire of Friendship in his hand, so he could unlock It's Gonna Work if he wanted to go that route.
Right.
I mean, you should probably know I do not have recovery.
Yep.
I have this thing. This thing lets you get something back from this thing.
Oh,
Oh, pay 3.
I wish we knew how many actions Bugle had. Seems like it's a lot.
I will get back.
because the thing is, I could have played both Lost House, but that's like, we probably have enough
Yep.
missile and movement that, like, I'm probably screwed either way. But I also didn't have another friend at the time, so...
Now that I have white,
I think so.
it's gonna work.
He should have one more point. And that's a third Nightmare Moon coming down.
Yep.
This is definitely what Bugle wants to see. And now that he has 2 Mist Mains in hand, it's not going to take him too long to score enough points.
I hope he remembers to give himself that point.
It might actually matter.
So much for any
Yeah, okay. Pastor.
And he does not change his scorecard.
This is when I magically use...
Bugle scored the point.
Any immediates?
It's fine, we can remind him in time.
Actually? Okay.
If it will matter.
So...
Yeah, Yeah, I'm sure one of the judges is listening to this anyway.
Oh, yeah, you only have to use those.
Yep, goes ahead and uses his immediate.
Discard.
Anything to slow Bugle down. That's what he wants to do right now.
Anything else?
Though, actually, Frightening Mistmane doesn't do anything.
I think I do this.
You did draw,
Stop fighting. Yeah. Plus I have 4 cards. I mean,
Yeah, all he has to do is to bank now, because I don't think he has any other options.
There's the point.
and you're on the board. Okay, so I guess. And I have.
Yeah, not worth drawing yet with only 3 actions.
I will spare you the time of trying to nail down what those 5 cards are.
Okay.
Okay, he's going for it. The problem is
Daybreaker,
most
but
of his
not...
cards cost 3, so this is just milling himself.
Yeah. I mean, he would discard that card anyway, but yeah.
But it means that he also discards the next card, too. I think spending the actions on the Unfrighten is worth more, because it at least means that you're forcing Bugle to do something, which means Bugle is not scoring points.
Mm-hmm. Bigo has 280 left, I think, from what he said.
And
Yeah.
going away, I'm just going to show you guys that not have enough. But, I mean, I know you have enough dismissal movement, so I'm just.
I'm going to gain 5 AP. Ready.
At this point, I think it's going to depend on if Bugle can get ahead of points with the time limit remaining, because he's definitely in a position where he could win, despite how far ahead Sokol is.
Right, absolutely. In infinite time, this game is Bugle's, no question.
Oh yeah,
The real
for sure.
question is...
I have an immediate.
5-minute time, I think she's just called.
Yep.
Ooh.
That is enough. But
Does
we'll
Sokol
see
have-
if it ends up working for him.
Does Sokol have the third Washouts performance somewhere? Because we've only seen 2, right?
I believe that all of them have been hit, except one that might still be in the deck.
Yeah, that's what I think too, and that can actually save him, but he doesn't have a lot of
Yeah.
cards left. I think that's like 4 cards.
If he ends up drawing it,
Great flop, right?
or if Bugle plays a misfire, or fireworks, then all is lost. However,
I even exhausted her to get
if he can dig to it next turn, he could make something good happen.
me off of this.
If Bugle plays Fireworks... I don't think Bugle wants to play Fireworks here.
2 immediates.
It would completely mill Sokol out, which is kind of nice, but it lets him score another point.
Which I'm being done.
There's 1 card left in the deck.
And it will get discarded,
Yeah.
unless it's immediate.
Based on what we saw, it sounds like it might be the last Washouts performance.
Yeah, but he can't really save it in any way.
It's like, I could recover
Okay, that's the second point for Bugle.
things on the board. But,
Actually, we'll get back.
Will he be able to catch up? He needs only 10 points in like 3 minutes or so.
It needs to, no,
be smart.
it needs to be belly flop. I can't. I'm going to discard the party of 1. That doesn't help.
That'd be really
So belly flop is definitely a better choice, I feel. Okay. I'll score a point. And
Sokol can get something back, but that's irrelevant, unfortunately.
sure, yeah. I agree.
What he can do is spend his next turn, even if he's fully milled, just moving everything up to confront the Nightmare Moon.
So draw your card. Play it if you can.
Looks like Cerberus.
Okay. So you have 5 AT. What are you doing?
He does the moves, he forces Bugle to work for it, and that might be enough to prevent Bugle from winning in time.
Yeah.
So I K1 to blow up this. No, this one.
I don't think it matters much,
So no,
because even if he gets it back into his hand from Mistmane, it will be discarded by Nightmare Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, any cards that he gets back are just going to immediately get hit.
Yeah,
Unless
like-
he
So
takes an
they'd
immediate.
have to be immediate, yeah.
He can play,
That-
yeah, but Mullet is hasty.
Only to demo.
Yeah, that's probably why he switched to Spitfire.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yes, you made out on time.
Pay 2, get back Mistmane. Okay.
Beagle doesn't have the deck left right as well, yeah?
He gets back Stop Fighting, and yeah, Bugle's decked
It's-
out as well.
It's somewhat reasonable, but it kind of hurts
So you're getting her back now that you're playing her. We'll get back.
because he gave up a point to get that stop fighting, and I'm not sure if that's worth it.
So,
So you're gonna frighten her.
wait, which of those was played?
It doesn't matter. I mean, they're unique.
Okay, well, I was just saying, like, first, because I mean, I would have just used this to split this possible.
Well, okay.
Yeah, he decides to not give him a point, which is
I
fair.
mean, I guess it doesn't matter when I play that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna belly flop it regardless. So, yeah. Well, let's just go ahead and do that. So,
I mean, I have no flip.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Are you conceding at this point? Because I'm just going to bank up a bunch of E and play a bunch of Mistmanes.
No, wait for the time.
Conceding isn't gonna happen.
only almost 10 minutes, or how much time is there?
Oh, 6 minutes.
We must have heard the 15
Yeah.
minute warning.
Enough AG.
But you know what?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. Okay. Your turn.
Please challenge the Nightmare Moon just once. I just want you to challenge 3 to 7 with no flips.
Do it.
so I'll give you that.
Game 6, pass. You're done. Okay. Game 6, pass. Okay, you're done. So we're at 13. Then we're at 19. Yes. I'm exhausting Glimmer real fast. So 19. Still not enough. So
I believe that is enough to get it.
6. Another 6. So okay, we're at 37.
Okay, we'll skip more stuff.
Huh? We're immediately. I am gaining 5 AT, exhausting, gaining a 6 AT, passing. He's immediately passing back.
I mean, I said I would. I
You
said
have
I
no deck,
would.
no hand. Yes. I
Okay,
have two
you know
Mistmanes.
what?
Does that just mean? Oh, you can see this thing.
Yes. So I did say I would immediately pass my turn, but I don't know how much motions I'm gonna force you through. But like,
Well, fine. Ready?
on
Exhaust.
some
Ready?
level,
Fight. So okay, so 37. How many do I need?
Yeah, I think what Beagle just wants to do here, well, what he's doing here is just
2,
get a lot of VT to just win off Mistmane.
Pay 2.
Yeah,
Get back.
I believe Bugle has ultimately triumphed here.
Yep. If it was 5 less minutes, then this would be perhaps Sokol's game, but Bugle had enough time.
what's gonna happen? I could. continue
So what you're saying in Swiss,
still pull back.
things would be different.
This,
Absolutely.
yes.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play Mistmane. I'm going to select Mistmane. Are you going to do anything? Are you going to select Mistmane? Okay. Point. I am going to take 3, play Mistmane to get back Mistmane. Are you going to do anything? Okay.
I think this main should be banned.
Take 3.
This is such a powerful card.
Are you going to do anything?
I mean, if not
She's
Mistmane,
a
it will be
game
Sweetie Belle.
finisher.
Yeah.
She's just a game finisher.
The
It's
problem
not.
is Sweetie Belle would not be half as good, or even close to half as good in this situation. Mistmane earlier in this game was the only reason that Sokol is milled out, because Bugle used Mistmane 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Mistmane is a recursion tool as well as a scoring tool, which is quintessential because Mistmanes are all in the garbage before he starts trying to score, so they need to do some type of recurrence.
Stupid mullet stuff. So
Mistmane is basically filling the niche of 3 separate cards, which in a combo deck is, you know, perfection.
She's still weak to the same things that other combo finishers are, such as Magical Misfire or Destiny
is true.
Drain.
I guess I could be helping you right now.
Yeah,
but,
you can make it
but
faster.
I'm not. I mean, I did already give up my
7, 6, 5,
action time.
14, 4, 3, 2, 15. Okay.
And we'll,
And that is that.
like,
Yeah, that is the game. We saw exactly
Pretty close game.
2 fireworks being played.
You can never
Or
have
one.
enough Nightmare moons in play.
I believe
think
he
just
played
one.
it once.
Yeah. Sokol did have a really good start, like he was blazing.
Alright, so
I got really lucky with that fireworks because I got 2 spectacles and 2 pancakes. I'm like, oh, okay, he cannot DFO this turn. He's just not going to be able to.
because that's the thing. It's like I could have tried, and then like
But you wouldn't have been able to.
yeah, probably would have gone. But yeah, there's obviously a few things. I actually chose not to have that Tempest in Cerberus, which you know. I mean, Nightmare Moons.
I think
I'm
it's
like
I think it's to not go for that plan. 'Cause
I did replace the blackmail, which
Yeah.
you know,
That was good.
and get a fair amount of points in the process. So, but yeah, given that I broke to 11, that was still like pretty
got to
amazingly
12.
fast. Like I was, I mean, running
So you went
blue,
to
I was
you went to
like-
2, then you went to 3, then you went to 7. Yeah. So turn 1 2, turn 2 3, turn 3 7, turn 4 11. So that was really fast.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, on
Jeez, I won.
so yeah, on my
Very close game. A lot of good things happened. It was very interesting. We got to see fireworks, which is nice.
but yeah, so
And I got to get on a soapbox about how Mistmane is OP.
oh okay. But no, this morning, like I was getting out of the shower and I was like, crap, did they switch it to 10? Like, and then like I checked the iBook and then I checked the
You
paper schedule.
and both showed up at 10:30 instead of 10, so it wasn't. Well, it was on the schedule as 10:30. Yeah, exactly.
On like both. So I was like, what? What? I was even gonna like maybe go to the VA thing at 10 and then just like come over, but yeah, I was straight up in the shower, so I was like, what? What? But no, that was all right to have a recording of. At least to demonstrate who was on.
Is it fair?
Oh, I didn't even use my magic.
So, many people splash purple for Saleno, and I think splashing purple would be better in this matchup because purple lets you have misfire.
So I'll be back.
In this matchup in particular, purple is huge, yeah. Because Misfire is the only reason Paradox Pony was able to win the game we saw.
Yeah. Because if he had misfire right now, he could have just gotten it back from Mistmane just like Sonnet did.
Right.
So like I couldn't even like.
Which is why Bugle usually plays Misfire before Mistmane comes out.
Yeah, but
But in a game like this, Bugle wouldn't have had the option to do that.
3 minutes for that other game.
or like Sokol could have just gotten the misfire and banished like the Nightmare Moon in discard pile, securing a safe spot on the board.
Yep, which would be game winning.
Poppy, Nightmare Moon, and Tempest White. Oh, I guess they're getting money.
But yeah, it's still very interesting how the deck works
Except for that.
very well while being mono blue.
Yeah.
Because originally he has white, and he had white for all the point cards, like the bolt or rarity. And actually cracking the case would be great.
Cracking the case would... oh my gosh. Yeah, that could also be game winning in a matchup like this.
Are these separated out for some reason?
It sounds like what I heard was that Tempest White and the two Poppies are the two other decks that won this most recent elimination round.
Oh no,
That might be wrong.
our Poppy is going. Are we going to get the Poppy finale?
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly.
Poppy would probably have the same difficulties as everybody else does against Night Maroon combo.
Yeah,
But it does have a single card that does recursion, which is something. And that's Pinky's Epiphany.
Polka this color
Yeah, great thing about Pinky's Epiphany is you can choose to pay cheaper as well, so you can play things right away too. Very nice.
So ignore it. Like this is where it wasn't supported.
It's a fantastic card.
This is against the thing, and it's still the box cutter. I was doing.
You give out the card like, wait, what?
I have 50 rounds. Well, zero. No problem.
Well, I guess you wouldn't.
The knife is pretty bad. Alright.
I'm aware. Give me the clamp too.
Give him the clang.
Wait, clamps! You're gonna cut it? No. Oh, that. Yeah. What do you have? Wait, what? R2 and get messed up?
How do you have a wrong side of RPOs?
Because they reprinted some.
Oh, because all of the ultra rares were in the boxes.
Yes, all of the URs that were there.
Wait,
What's this?
Trying to drive collectors like these to.
well, when it's done right. Okay, where? Just one more through?
Okay, that's time round.
That is a nice one. I mean, it's a crappy card, but it's a nice one.
Ivory, I asked this question to Eminently yesterday, so now it's your time to answer. What would you bring to this tournament?
I haven't played Harmony in so long.
That's exactly what Eminently said.
We've got 3 core commentators here.
Is there an event going on right now?
Round 2 of.
I mean, it seems like the last 3 or 4 times I've participated in something Harmony, it's been combo. That combo is no longer legal, so honestly, I may have done some form of unicorn control that maybe looks closer to what GP is running.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that deck actually has a fair chance against Bugle, because of just so many ways you can get rid of Nightmare Moons.
Yeah, since that deck has a huge amount of recursion and also just as many misfires in it, I assume, it's really just as well poised to win that match as Bugles is.
Yeah, and you can just banish all the Nightmare Moons with old money.
Yep.
Gosh, old money is so versatile.
Maybe
Oh.
she should have costed 5 instead of 4.
I mean, I would still think people would play her because her, like, you don't pay her initial cost very often, you just portal her.
Old money is quite good. 4 is very expensive. I don't think old money is quite a meta-defining card in the same way as, like, drinking buddies were to something that's, like, obviously broken. I think
Is
maybe
it
old
not?
money didn't need the meticulous, but I don't think 5 would be reasonable.
I think it's quite meta-defining, like, now, all, like, when you go anywhere, really, you have to think about her.
You have to
Because-
think about her. And we saw 2 decks playing her in this tournament, which is plenty. But when the drinking buddies were first released, it was maybe 70% of decks.
That was the Hot Wings meta, I believe.
Yep.
That Gen Con was quite interesting.
Absolutely.
I feel like if I hadn't had 3 buys, I would have probably played all against nothing but Hot Wings players the first half of the event, but I
Were you-
ultimately only played 1.
Were you Cruel Taskmistress?
I was Cruel Taskmistress. I played against your brother in top 8.
Yep. Okay. It's
He
all
won.
coming back.
Yeah, that went a hard time if I remember right.
Yep. He told me that he would not have won that last game if it weren't for the time limit.
Yeah, I had just gotten my hard lock online. He was at 13 points, and after I had gone up to, I think, 8 points, hard time was called, and I was like, oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Actually, it may not have even been 8 points. It may have been something like 4 points, but the lock was definitely online.
Right, it's the type of thing where if there wasn't a time limit, you'd win that game, no question. But the question is, how long does it take?
Yeah.
With Mistmane and both players completely milled, it didn't take very long for Bugle.
Okay, I think we have Richard on the right and someone on the left. Richard is playing Poppy.
Well, I assume that means that the other player is Poppy.
Yeah, it's
That
Carolee.
is
Yep.
Pages.
Because the only other vinyl player in top 8, I think, was Godot.
Yeah, it's Poppy versus Poppy again.
Okay, Poppy versus Poppy, except the
That,
sides are reversed now.
which means no Poppy finale. Unfortunately.
So sad.
Yep.
Still, this is good to see.
I must make note of the amazing Love Live playmat that he is using.
It's very colorful.
Doesn't have Trixie.
It doesn't need Trixie. It has.
What do you
Muse on
mean?
it. You don't need Trixie when you
go
have
away.
Muse.
Well, last time we saw this matchup, Richard managed to win, going second no less. But with the mirror match, it's absolutely anyone's game.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's quite random.
You're right.
Good fun. Versus Aracat. And
I was asking about what happened last week.
Poppy is just apparently a force to be reckoned with. The fact that there are 2 Poppies in top 4, that's really impressive. And that means that a Poppy gets at least second place.
Yep.
In
Yep.
such a competitive tournament,
We're
Poppy
guaranteed
has really
to have.
made a name for themselves.
Yeah, we're guaranteed to have Poppy in top 2, which is amazing.
I guess all Poppy was waiting for was someone to optimize and make
Yeah.
very dangerous.
I will readily admit, this is not something I saw coming.
Poppy's always kind of been a joke among
Mm-hmm.
us. It's
Yep.
like, oh yeah, let's just build Sequestria block Poppy. Little did we know that there is actually a competitive Poppy list that uses mostly Sequestria cards.
and you trimmed it because you plan on never running into that?
Because I want.
Yeah, this actually makes me like want to build and play this deck.
Yeah, kinda. It seems like it's a blast to play.
Mm-hmm.
You're called character sleeve guards.
That's not how it's supposed to happen. So yeah, that we were bumped down at like 5. And then I would even flip at 11. Even. And then I drew the fireworks and it was like, okay. The best possible time I drew the fireworks is my opponent has all the 2 8 So I
No,
think
you don't. You randomly get assigned.
when I can do a mistake.
How are we for time?
And I'm like, oh okay.
Do we want a specific start time or anything?
We know you guys, we've seen you before. But yeah, at least people don't show it in front of the camera anymore. Very nice of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Richard has quite a hand. I think he would mulligan it. Because it doesn't give you a good start from what I can see. Yep, he's mulligans it. He's mulliganing it.
This may have been addressed earlier. Are these decks identical lists?
I
believe
think
so.
they are, yeah.
Interesting. That would make decision making even harder because you know exactly what they're gonna do in response to what you're doing.
Yeah, you have no natural advantages. The matchup is perfectly identical. Mirror games can be very interesting for reasons like that.
Yeah, they're identical. I just checked.
A lot of the times, it just comes down to skill. And it seems like these two players are quite similar. They've both been playing for a long time.
Well, it looks like Richard was able to acquire a Poppy and what I think was a Nightmare Moon in his opening.
Yeah. Both decks have 3 of those.
Though we haven't seen Poppy play a Nightmare Moon yet.
And a yellow Parasprite. Oh, I just had premiere flashbacks of
Yeah.
opening turn, Nightmare Moon, and yellow Parasprite. Please kill me now.
I think that's Chrysalis, not Nightmare. Yeah, it is Chrysalis.
Oh. Well, I suppose Chrysalis might actually be more ideal. Less targets. Easier to guess.
Yeah, but the deck runs both of them. Yeah, it runs Nightmare Moon and Chrysalis.
Yeah, in Harmony, you get some really nasty troublemakers, even as an aggro deck. I think it's a really good idea to be running all of those.
Oh, he did have a Nightmare Moon. He had a Nightmare Moon and a Chrysalis.
I wonder why not Sombra, because Sombra is also random, and it's like at some point in the game it could be actually like pretty good, be like a 50-50. Or
The Crystal Games Sombra?
yeah, the Sombra that exhausts a random character for an AT. Don't think it's Crystal Games.
Oh, that's the Marks and Time one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
I was thinking of the Crystal Games one and was confused.
No. But yeah,
Being a villain is definitely very helpful.
yeah, that's fair.
Two very important cards. This card, Chrysalis, I'm being discarded.
Did we by any chance catch who won the fourth game?
I think it may have been Grandpa's.
And his opponent was a good doe, right? Well,
Possibly.
I suppose we will find out.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Did you look through my ultra rare trade? Have you seen my ultra rare trade?
Okay, here comes Angelings
Well, Richard decided
into
to flip
Sea Puppy.
first turn. It seems like Carrie is deciding to go for a little more of a friend-based start.
Yeah, Richard has Belly Flop, which can help him a lot against Sea Puppy now. And he has Sea Puppy of his own.
Oh, it's perfect. You play Sea Poppy and then Belly Flop.
The thing in Mirror Match is that suddenly you don't really want to play random cards. Against any other
Right.
matchup, you don't care.
Does Carrie Lee have any troublemakers?
He should have I know for a fact he has Nightmare Moon and Yellow Parasprite. I
Oh,
don't
boy.
remember if his list also runs Chrysalis.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yes.
They're
In the
identical list.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we addressed that earlier. My mistake.
I'm trying to see what's in people's
Uh-huh.
hands. Okay, so Richard has a Paris, right? Which is something.
I'll get the deck list to you.
You probably assume yes.
They are organized by card.
No action token box?
I have 0. Did you just...
I paid one, because I'm about to do something. I'm sorry, exactly where to do it. You get 2 action tokens on your turn.
Smithers asked in chat, isn't it Marks in Time? I think that's regarding Sombra, and yeah, Sombra is Marks in
Yeah.
Time. Okay, that's Weathermire Shocking. Remember that list that Sim did a while ago, like cards to watch out in Harmony? And it had Weathermire Shocking? They were joking, but actually...
Forgot that it works quite well with Poppy, because 50-50 is much more ideal than most other odds.
Mm-hmm. I think actually, like, she and Pattimare are the only card with such high odds. Everything else is lower than that in the deck.
Yeah.
Flurry Heart is 25, and Spyglass and other things depend on the hand, of course, but it's usually like 1 of 7th or 6th.
Yep.
I believe Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie is also a strong one,
Oh
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, they're
given that you have 3 rounds of 50-50 there, unless there's dilemmas, of course.
yeah. It's around like 80 something percent, I think. If you
Yeah, and
count
then-
all 3 guesses.
And then Royal Spyglass, if you can manage to whittle their hands down to 1 card, is a guaranteed 100%.
Which is very nice. That still counts as random. From hearing Grandpa's voice, I can say confidently he is currently in top 4. Which means we're missing the Fireworks Tempest match.
I'm betting on
But it-
Grumpos for reasons I mentioned before.
Yeah, I think he has a really good chance.
So that means the final will be Poppy versus Fireworks combo or Poppy versus Tempest Control.
Both of which are going to be difficult but winnable fights for Poppy.
Yeah,
We saw Poppy versus Tempest, didn't we?
yeah, but I don't think Poppy won.
No, but
Like,
it was reasonably
Yeah,
close.
it was very close. Like Grumpos, I would say he barely made it there.
Yeah.
And that was because like Richard was unlucky with his guesses. If he was luckier, he would have more points.
Mm-hmm.
RNG is like that sometimes.
Yeah, seems like not much happening.
A lot of sitting and staring.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think both players are in a position where they're worried if they do too much, it's going to put the other person on the attack, and they're just going to start removing all of their important cards. So it's
Yep.
been mostly conservative plays for the start here.
And in most matchups, you can be really confident that it's worth it to just play a bunch of cards that do random effects, so that when you finally draw a Poppy, you can start using them. But now in this matchup, you don't want to play any of those, because what if your opponent draws Poppy first?
And then we also have the fact that they don't want to open themselves up for total removal.
Right, because both decks are pink and carry quite a bit of it.
In fact, they carry exactly the same amount of removal.
This is true.
Okay, here comes the Poppy and the Pottimer.
Sea Poppy already scored a point just because it's a 4 strength friend.
Are you just being fancy?
Yeah, seems like Grandpa's is playing against Bugle. And that's another Poppy.
The poppying commences.
Sorry, I have 9 cards in hand.
But yeah, I think in a mirror match you always choose whatever your opponent chooses.
Yeah, I was just thinking that the correct play would probably be to always choose the same thing. That way, if they get a point, you also get a point.
It's the safest, but I think it mostly depends on how risk averse you are. Because
Yeah,
there's a lot to gain from guessing the other thing.
yeah, that's fair. Like, at the end of the game where, like, if that 1 point will win you the game or, well, not, I guess you can still name the same thing. But yeah, you can risk that.
My cards did not matter. He had cards. He had a hand that was good in the matchup. I had a hand that was mediocre if I'm being generous.
Sounds like Grandpa's might have, if not outright won yet, started to guarantee a victory over on the other side based on what the comms are.
What is the score? 2-1. You both have a copy. Usually. Oh boy.
So 5 over there was for AT ain't gonna happen.
No. They can both guess the same thing or different.
Maybe they already finished their game?
I think so.
Yeah, because
they're
Bugle
saying they were
is
watching.
discussing the current game state here.
So it sounds like I was wrong, and Bugle is not the champion of this tournament. However, I still have pretty good odds for a Vinyl to be the champion of this tournament.
Yeah, no, maybe Bugle won. Maybe that's why the
Well,
game ended so early.
I suppose that's fair. Either deck would win very quickly.
Yes. Who has to make the decision first?
The turn player.
Both write them down.
Active player?
Yeah.
Second player? Okay. Alright, so I think that's what we did actually.
Yes.
The one instance so far.
Actually, I think it's the player who had the most recent priority, but in case of Party Mayor, at the start of the turn, it's the turn player.
Yeah.
Or I could do that.
And we already have our first judge call.
Well, if we got random stuff,
How many will we have today?
one for another party man.
We had like 4 last time.
For Bobby.
It was okay. Here come the
There we go.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Princess of judge calls.
These decks are just so symmetric in how they play because every card helps both players equally.
Yeah.
That's not something you usually see. Like if I'm in a mirror match and I play cover to cover, that helps me more. But in this match, you play Little Baby Flurry Heart, it helps both players just as much.
Yeah, you play Party Mayor and helps both players as well.
We now have 3 instances of random.
Like, it helps you more, but solely because she has power.
Yep.
I wonder if the correct option for either player would be to try to get ahead in points and then just mirror whatever decision the other makes when they have the option to. That
Right.
way, if the guess is correct, they still go ahead in points.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. The person in the lead always takes the conservative bet, and then the person behind takes the more aggressive bet of going for something different than your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so useful this game. I'm like, oh, let's see, what cards does he have? Oh, all of them. Hey, we didn't get a chance to look at each other's deck list at the game.
Richard is complaining he didn't get to see his opponent's deck list.
I know my deck list. I want to see your deck list.
Finals. We definitely were like, oh hey, party man. Let's look at this.
Oh, it's a party mirror.
Person, okay. Oh boy.
How many cards do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Does Party Mare's random movement also trigger Flurry Heart's random
Yes.
movement?
It
Yes.
does.
So,
Oh boy.
yeah, that's what we had a lot of questions about yesterday. Because
As soon
if
as
you have
more than one,
yeah, if
Flurry
you have
Heart,
more than one Flurry Heart and then Patimer decides to move or not, what happens? A lot of things happen.
Oh, get rid of both Party Mares. Interesting.
I think
I think he belly
belly
flopped
flop was
Patimer
on
in full
C-Poppy.
Poppy, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see. Oh no, he still has the. Okay, yeah, I see now.
Richard has 2 Party Mares out, which, I mean, honestly is enough to just start scoring points through aggression. So that's not a bad place to be right now. Unfortunately, if Carrie gets these C-Poppy guesses correctly, then you almost can't go quickly enough to make up any points, really.
Okay, a troublemaker.
Given that he put that at the same problem as Poppy and Angel Wings, it's safe to assume it's probably Yellow Parasprite?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Third turn, Party Mare tries to move to a random problem. You do have a Poppy in play, so even or odd? This is odd.
Even.
You choose,
Ooh, good guess.
Okay, that's a point.
and then the move is replaced by Baby Flurry Heart.
Gets him up to
1,
4.
2, 3, or 4.
And I've been forgetting to update the scores on stream. Sorry about that.
2 stays there. Sorry. Other one.
We will forgive you this time.
Sorry. Odd or even.
This is like the 10th time I do this.
There. Power.
I might have to go into announcements on Discord and start posting in it.
Oh my god. I will pinch you really hard.
No pinching. It's only fair.
It's... I'm the moderator of the server, so it's my rules. I will power abuse all of them.
So Richard is confronting his trading traditions, and there's not going to be a face-off. So this is a pretty good situation for him. Especially if that isn't a villain, because that means that he'll get to fight it next turn, and there's not really anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the last game we saw with Richard against Grandpa's, Gary doesn't have anything like prepared that can really make Richard stay bad.
Part the cards. Alright. 3 for new C-Poppy.
Nice.
Another C-Poppy.
And I had no random.
Well, that's good.
Okay, move Swordface, confront here for 1. Alright, confront here for 1. Alright.
Oh, he does a double face-off.
4, 5,
Now it doesn't matter what his opponent played. Unfortunately, this puts Richard...
Oh,
Whoa,
Babby!
The Flurry Heart flip.
move them to random areas.
That's correct.
Choose a random character, that's one guess. And then move it to a random area, which is another guess.
5, 6, 7, not counting this one. 8, 9, 10 is my total, not counting C-Poppy. What is your current total with Flip?
4,
Okay, I'm okay with that.
which is fine.
Alright, so this one...
Time is 28 minutes, I think.
I'll be always picking one
Yep,
for
I think you have to pick your 2 choices first. Then.
You have to pick both choices.
Oh, yes, okay. So this one will be moving to a random area. I will be picking one for C-Poppy. And it doesn't really matter which one. I'll move... Yeah, your DJ to a random area. I'll also be picking one.
Okay.
Alright, so this one is moving to 2, which is there. And that one is moving to 2, which is there.
Richard continues to have bad luck with these guesses.
Mm-hmm, at least on
Poor
stream.
guy.
Flip cards go to the bottom, and then both problems reset.
So now Richard is playing mono.
Yeah, he
because
doesn't have
He just
blue.
lost his entry. He's still in the better position because he has a point lead, I believe.
And we'll have
But-
a yeah.
May draw a card.
By one, I believe.
Yeah, but Carey has all three colors to Richard's one, so Carey can easily start doing things to get this lead back.
I mean, I believe purple is there pretty much for resource removal, and there's also ultimate organizers, so
Ultimate Organizers are quite good in the aggro matchup.
yeah, but he doesn't have enough purple to play them yet.
That's true.
Oh, there's also Spyglass. Forgot about Spyglass.
Yes.
Is
And-
Ultimate Organizer 3 rec for
Yep.
purple?
Yeah, it's for both purple and blue. Free rec.
Ah, so it is.
And still be one over. And just
I've played that card a lot, I know.
You and your Tempest Blue.
But it's the best.
It seems like it's pretty cool, yeah. I still want to play it later. It was, in fact, Paris Bright, but a lot has changed since we first made that guess.
one baby flip. 8 cards.
So do you use random effects here? Like,
That's the question, yeah.
yeah, both of the players have Poppy, so if they continue to choose the same, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, so I think you do use the random effects if you get anything out of it, but maybe don't bother using Spyglass.
Yeah, perhaps not. Oh, there's Hyper Beam.
Oh, Richard had gotten a Fire of Friendship out, maybe with
Yeah.
discard at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
But now it's gone.
He has Singing Barrel in his hand, though.
So he's fine.
Oh, he's going to write down his hand.
Sure. That's something that people like to do a lot when games start to get serious.
Mm-hmm.
I never made the habit because I was always the slower deck, so it wasn't to my advantage to take a minute to write anything down.
You have to use shorthand when you're running a hard control deck.
Yep.
Abbreviate everything and chicken scratch. Plus, it means only you will be able to read what it says.
I think I have not seen this much Nightmare Moon, Paris Sprites, since Premier Channel Night. It's kind of fun. I think it might actually be correct for every single Harmony deck to be running 3 freaking Fire Friendships right now. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have to. My favorite play I ever got was I played Angel Wings.
Okay. Angel links into Babby, and we have 2
Very
Flurry
good.
Hearts.
2 Flurry Hearts is gonna be crazy, but I will say, he only spent 1 action for all of that, which is very good for him.
I think it spent 2 actions. 1 for Angel Wings and 1 for Flurry.
Flurry Heart is 2 cost.
Is she?
2 for 3. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, you have to convince somebody to play it. Like, her effect is garbage, so you need something to sweeten the deal.
Oh my god, she is 2 for free.
It really does help this deck that all of their random stuff is over strength for cost.
Yeah, it's power effective. Like C Poppy Flurry Heart.
Tries to go to a random problem. This will be
Party Mare is great too.
Picking odd for my C poppy. What do you want? Odd.
Okay, they are naming the same.
It is even. Okay. It attempts to move here. This baby flurry heart replaces it and moves it to a random area. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always pick 1. What do you want to pick? 1.
Carrie is going with the same decisions, yeah.
To move there, can't, because it's getting replaced by that, and also because you can't move your opponent's main.
Replaced by this one. That one does not look replaced.
You have 2 triggers.
There are 2 slurry.
There are 2 triggers.
Right,
This
I
flurry
processed
heart-
this one already.
They're not triggers, they're replacement modifiers.
Yeah,
Nope, we already checked it yesterday.
it's different.
We did.
Bugle's trying to help, but it turns out that this is hellish. It's very complicated.
Party Mare attempted to move here, was replaced by this one.
We're opening can of worms again.
Question is,
No!
this one now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still picking 1. What are you picking? 1. 4. 1, 2, 3.
Richard has such bad luck.
Ladies have been satisfied.
He's gotten like 1 guess correctly, maybe 2 out of the dozen that I've seen him do so far on stream.
I mean, the guesses doesn't really matter right now. If anything,
At this time, no.
guessing incorrectly helps him because he has power from C poppy
Shenanigans have done.
during his turn.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So I
Yeah,
think what matters is where his party mares are.
Alright. Now, I start my troublemaker phase. I have 9 cards. Card nearest me will always be 1, and I will always pick 1. So roll something with at least 9 sides on it. What are you picking?
1. I'll be rolling a 0. 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goodbye. Lead pony badge.
Okay, that's lead pony badge gone.
That's it for troublemaker phase.
I believe that Carrie is choosing the same option because even though he is behind in points, only 1 point behind is not enough to be super worried this early in the game. So
Yeah, you don't need to take any risks just yet.
Versus 4. 5. No chaos.
Aha!
Alright. Score.
Richard actually won that. Very nice. That's gonna help him a lot.
And then main phase. Still have a 2 ready.
Party Mare is pretty powerful.
No other random effects.
both of them, I believe, have 2+1s on them.
A lot more power there.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to confront, or slightly less power there. Don't have any eccentric or anything. Let's see. So this would be 2 to move over, and it would end up over there.
So yeah, this is indeed what peak harmony looks like, apparently.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was just joking about it yesterday, but it's top 4 and top 2.
Yeah, I'm convinced. I am on the Poppy train. We'll have to see if it can win its rematch against Hard Tempest Control.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much have accepted that Harmony is pure madness. So
Pure
anytime
madness.
anytime I play a Harmony match or participate in a Harmony tournament, I expect complicated rulings and
Yeah.
crazy interactions every match.
Someone
Yep.
should write a song about that.
Score face. Confront for 1. Sure.
I'll make Grandpa's do it. He's really good at that.
Quite confronting over there.
Yeah, I know.
Discard for hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. Ooh, that's all I've got up to. Yeah, put it back. Goodbye, Hyper-Beam.
Don't forget that one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hyper-Beam. Your turn.
Draw. This has been the most fantastic time.
Richard has a pretty nice lead at this point. Of 7-4.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the point where Carrie will have to consider whether he wants to take a risky choice with the Poppy triggers.
Yep.
Yeah, because he can actually catch up just by that.
It seems like he might have Nightmare Moon, which is a good way to flip the board. And in playing Nightmare Moon, he could frighten Sea Poppy. So there is a definite plan of action that he could choose to take, but it is really risky.
Yeah, then the downside to that is he would end up frightening his own Flurry Heart.
Yep.
Okay, it's Spyglass time.
For my sea poppy, I will always pick one.
I pick one if I'm only.
Or sorry, actually, you have to pick first.
I pick one.
I also pick one.
3.
1, 2, 3 is a Queen Crystal.
Smithers says that he should probably guess something besides what Richard guesses because Richard's luck is so bad.
Yeah. I
Yet
believe...
he's in top 4.
How many times did Richard score points from C-Poppy yet? I think it's once, maybe twice?
In
Yeah.
this game, he's
No.
only gotten it once.
Oh, if he's gotten it once, then he's got like 2 total, I think. Out of
Yeah.
yesterday and today, and that's his 3rd match on stream. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this deck appears to have a fairly strong aggro backup plan for when
Yep.
the RNG is just not on your side.
Yeah, it doesn't rely fully on C-Poppy, and you have like some control-ish tools here as well, like Troublemakers, so it's kind of like mid-rangey with additional point acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ultimate Organizer, which just hit play.
That's a very strong mid-range card. It means that against
Where
like,
did he get purple for that?
He still has the Fire of Friendship in play.
Yeah, that's not enough.
hmm,
You are correct.
7.
Oh no, Ultimate Organizers is only 2 purple requirement.
Is it?
It
I guess I
is.
don't play card that much.
To be fair, you've probably been playing it with a purple main, so it never
Yeah.
mattered.
Yeah, but the blue mattered. Yeah, it is free cost, free power too. Oh well, never mind.
Actually, no, you don't have to move one of your characters away.
Well, still, the Ultimate Organizer with the Flurry Hearts is very relevant.
Oh, that's because it exhausts, that's why the problem.
Because if he tries to move, it will cause Flurry Heart to replace it,
Yeah.
at least once.
Is it their flips?
seems like it.
Not sure who is winning, but flipping 7 is nice. I think Richard has 14.
I don't know what Spyglass flips for.
I think it's... I'm not sure.
Spyglass flips for 4,
Okay.
so that would put...
12. He's at 12, I think. He's one short, but I don't think he can turn this around.
I will attempt to move C Poppy somewhere.
It depends on what Flurry Heart has to say about it.
Okay. Alright, here's a D4. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so you have it.
But he won't have enough, won't he? Like, even if C-Poppy moves away, he will have 9 power versus Richard's 10.
And you
I
choose
have to.
first.
He also gets a move up.
Oh, right, yeah, he can just move his C-Poppy or something.
Actually moves here.
Okay.
And there's only one baby flurry heart.
No, there's 2. Yeah,
there's
another one.
two.
So
So
do it
it
again.
tries to move
Yeah, I
there.
do it again. I
And,
think, right? Is that correct?
and moves where?
Dougal.
Or what are you picking?
1.
I'm also still picking one. 3. Just here. Stay.
Oh,
Oh,
that's good
no.
for Richard.
Yeah, all he does is gains 1 power from this.
14.
He guessed incorrectly, but luck is still on his side.
Yeah, that's the thing with C-Pop, you just name things that you don't want to happen, and then you win-win either way.
Right.
7, 9, 13 versus 4, 7, 14.
Yep. This one is not resetting.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so Carrie's probably just going to have to abandon the fight on that problem and, yep, use the move for something else, because there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, moving over to figuring out friendship is probably the only choice. The blackmail is
That is
kind
at
of
least
nice,
helpful,
though.
but Richard is in a pretty good position right now, so probably the blackmail won't get to trigger.
Yeah, he can confront there.
Two party mares still.
Why is
Well,
there a
we've just
die
seen-
on figuring out friendship?
Mary, I pick odd.
I don't know.
It is odd.
Okay, they both score a point.
I think the dice are just to show which counts
Oh yeah,
as
it's
1, 2,
yeah,
3,
it's
and 4.
locations. Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Different
Doesn't matter at this point.
protocols, and it doesn't matter. And actually tries to move to 2, and the other baby Flurry Heart replaces it with 2. All right, this party mare moves there, gets 1 plus 1 H power, and this one tries to move either place, odd, even.
Interestingly enough, that you can pull off some shenanigans with like frightening C-Poppy and copying her with Chrysalis,
Your definition actually works better.
and these decks didn't really go for that.
Yep, they think that 1 C Poppy is enough, and let's focus on also being a really refined mid-range.
Yeah, I think that's a nice decision to like abandon that idea, and
Okay, that's all the turn triggers.
Yeah, the
Like-
Chrysalis thing seems a little more like a meme deck.
yeah, like if you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
I need 10 power there. I have 4 plus 4 is 8. I have 10 power there.
So the Flurry Heart frustrating the Ultimate Organizers was a really cool effect, which actually shows what Flurry Heart is supposed to do in like a non-C Poppy deck. Is if you're not planning to move your own characters very often, or you're planning to use something like Party Mare to get rid of Baby Flurry Heart's effect, then Flurry Heart really makes it difficult for your opponent to mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
The downside is Flurry Heart can also disrupt what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but
in a
if you have
non-copy deck.
oh yeah, but if you have something like Patimare, she just disables Flurry Heart at the start of your turn, and it's fine.
Right. It's a really neat way to kind of just diffuse her for a little.
Baby Flurry Heart, lead point badge, 2 ready. See Poppy?
Okay, he's gambling with C-Poppy.
And then we will chance it.
He's going to play Pink and Rainbow Dash, I presume.
And pink fixed. Yeah.
That would. This could potentially, like, plow ahead in points.
Yeah,
if he
this could be a
guesses
lot
well.
of points if these cards go to the right place and he guesses them.
Oh, that. Oh yes, 2 problems. That doesn't really matter.
Granted, he'll only get 1 point off of Poppy, but DFO would also net him 2 points because both of these are 0 bonus problems.
Define 4
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's something that you don't see very often.
is right there.
So potentially 3 points this turn. Still, that would put him at 10, I believe.
See Poppy goes there. This one.
I suppose that means that he doesn't really want to double very bad. He's fine just keeping it like this.
okay. Does he exhaust C-Poppy and not confront, or
Out of action presence.
Oh, that hurts so
I
bad.
I think you
Gets
don't
the guess
exhaust her.
correct.
5 with 3 short there. It ain't gonna happen.
I think you don't exhaust her. You confront to score a point, and then
Right? And then this
like that stops your opponent from doing things,
it is odd.
random
Yeah.
things.
And it prevents the blackmail point.
Score phase. Confront there for 1 point. You don't get a point from blackmail.
Yeah, exactly.
So sad.
And if he exhausted her, he would be in a situation where Carrie has Poppy unexhausted and he doesn't, which is not a very good thing.
That's true. Yeah, Richard still has time to get that C Poppy point later.
And Singing Barrel is left in play because I forgot about it. But it's probably safe there. Maybe.
One hopes it is safe there.
Yeah.
I do only have 6 cards in play. May I have corrected that and put it back in my hand?
All right.
Okay, he
Barrel
wants
back
the
to
barrel
hand,
there,
just
yeah.
to be safe.
Carrie is nice enough to allow him to correct that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have no idea whether I would allow or not. It's a hard question for me to answer.
Something like that where it doesn't make or break a game and no decisions have been made in between, I usually am fine with.
The only time I'm usually adamant about not taking anything back or correcting things is in tier 3. In tier 2, I'll usually allow it unless a lot of stuff has passed since that decision
Right.
was made.
If it's
Yeah, that's
optional
fair.
and difficult to rewind, then it's not really worth it.
Usually the deal breaker for me is if a card has been drawn.
More points from Sipo.
And number 1 is a singing bow.
He had Singing Bell in his hand. Who knew?
I believe that's going to push us into the 5 AT since Richard
Yeah.
is now at 11 points.
Yeah, and what's important, it's not on Carry's turn. Like, he's already past gaining AT thing.
This one, temps. This is odd. I choose odd. Yep. And you don't have it either. I choose.
I think at this point, I didn't see what was in his hands, but if these are 2 Nightmare Moons, that might actually be the best option he has right now.
Tries to go home. Second Babby. Tries to go to your home.
Even just one Nightmare Moon would be really good. If the other one is a Chrysalis or a Parasprite, it'd all work pretty well together.
Yeah, regardless, frightening his entire board, I think, would be a solid objective.
But
Absolutely.
I think he'll push for a double face-off now.
Probably. At this point, Richard kind of is heavily encouraged to do that.
All he has to do is to play something and he can exhaust lead pony badge. Can't exhaust problems anymore.
So sad.
Very sad. But he can... Oh, if he plays barrel and exhausts it, he can't return it back. But that might still be good enough. Does vinyl and exhaust when there's 3 friends or 2? I don't remember.
Good question.
The main. I'll check.
3 friends.
That's unfortunate because he could actually exhausted her to an exhaust Poppy.
Oh, that's fun, yeah. That extra effect that Vinyl has very rarely comes up, but it's actually really versatile.
It is.
It came up a lot when you played the vinyl version of Hot Wings, which I think I was the only one who did.
Ha.
Other than Bugle, of course.
I see a lot of cards in his hand though. I see Spyglass, I see Party Mare, like he can do stuff here.
I remember I was playing against an orange control deck, and my opponent played a Lasso Champion and hit my main, and it was Vinyl. So I just moved Vinyl up to the problem, and she unexhausted.
Ouch. That is an expensive error.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, those are probably okay.
Okay, Duskcarry has a reply. He has 2 ET left from what I can see.
Yep.
He might have like all the belly flops.
And my own Royal Spyglass.
Or this deck runs Food Fight, I believe, as well. No, it runs Pinky's Epiphany. So yeah, it probably has a belly flop in hand.
Here for one.
Oh, there's also Organizers, right. But Flurry doesn't help.
Yep.
Oh wait, Flurry doesn't work because Party Mare's, right.
Oh yes. There have already been moves this turn.
This one's in my home. Yeah, I'll do this one. Right. And
Okay, he moved his, I think it was Flurry or Sea Poppy home, which makes sense.
That is ominous.
And it looks like he may have forgotten that he can move one of his own characters with that as well.
He did move. He moved someone home to prevent them from frightening.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, it was either Poppy or Flurry Heart. I don't quite remember, but it was one of his characters. Yes.
I like to move to main phase.
Discard my hand.
Richard can win out of Nightmare Moon.
Chopper. I like to bypass you.
Those are there. I have 3 cards in hand. I have no.
Yeah, he's
No
close
Sea
enough that
Poppy.
he could just guess and then win in a couple of turns. However, that's not the most fun plan, because Carrie has blackmail out.
Yeah.
So Richard would prefer to be a little more proactive if he can.
Carrie also just scored a point from Sea Poppy and played Lethal in Badge. And given that Patty married home, he might get another point of Sea Poppy.
That's true, but Richard also has Seed Pony Badge, or Lead Pony Badge. So as
He
soon
doesn't
as he
have Sea
unfrightens
Poppy.
Poppy.
Do have a party mare at home.
Banking the 3 AT means he has enough to respond to anything that Richard might try to do to disrupt this control board state.
Yes.
Okay. Party mare, this is odd. You have a Poppy.
I do have a copy.
Aubrey.
Oh,
It is odd.
I got denied.
He gets another point of Sea Poppy, I believe.
Drat.
He does.
Places it.
Which brings him up to 9. The thing is, though, that he has to confront those troublemakers himself.
Alright.
Oh no, he has blackmail. He doesn't care much, yeah.
Yeah, he's just hoping that he can win the game through troublemakers at this juncture.
Rip one out.
He will go up to 10,
Goodbye, Angel Wings. First Angel Wings I saw.
and then
My side.
he has...
Don't want to challenge a 0.
Yeah, I don't think you confront either of them. I think you just...
You just Poppy and blackmail.
Actually, one option he does have is to challenge Chrysalis, and then the random selection, he just picks his one friend that he moves up there. That would give Richard points as well, though, if he unfrightens his Poppy.
Right.
But if he can get ahead, it's might be a way to close out the game.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to do it. It's 1 point guaranteed.
Do we remember what happens when you choose Poppy for Chrysalis?
See Poppy.
No, I do not.
I believe Chrysalis, because of pre-priority processing, Chrysalis would have to finish resolving before you could resolve Poppy.
But no, Poppy is not a trigger. It's a thing that happens, I think. Like, it's as a random choice is made, which is a very, like, interesting wording. It's not a trigger. It's a modifier. And we don't really have defined when a random choice is made.
Yeah.
On my hand, you pay 1 to take into purple again. Pay 0 for another
Like,
spyglass.
I believe there is a consensus on how this works. I just don't remember what it is. But this is
Got
definitely
the point.
an ambiguous thing in the rules.
That is very good for Richard. At this point, winning this game is within his reach.
Yeah, he only needs 1 more point.
Can he do anything else at random?
Nope, there won't be your turn. Everyone draw.
He can... Did the Flurry Heart already... Like, was a character moved this turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Party Mare tried to, but I think Flurry Heart sent her home.
I see.
Yeah, just make sure I have a pick pay for the gift there. Alright. Actually pay for the draw.
Okay, that's a better flop. That's a nice thing to have.
That's good.
Pay the draw. There you go. Pay 1 for a lead point badge.
Okay.
And
You have to spyglass. I think that's the only choice.
What he's going to exhaust though? He can't exhaust Frightened Friend.
Barrel is fine.
Oh, Barrel, yeah.
ready spyglass. And how many cards in hand? 4 still.
Okay, that's 25% chance.
Alright. And then move score phase.
No point.
Well, he's
He's conceded, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Knockdown. Woohoo. 14 to 10.
One turn.
Okay, this was a good game.
Yeah, very nice.
I don't think I misplayed anything terribly, so I'm happy.
No, you did fine. It looked fine.
So, finals. What's the?
I just got desperate.
So, Kerry conceded?
Too much orange.
Yep.
You get to play against purple white.
Alright, so it is Richard piloting Sea Poppy versus Tempest White Control.
Again. We've
Yeah,
seen
again.
this match, and it was very close the first time. The same 2 players and all.
I only lost to my own deck.
These ones are yours.
Yeah, Ground Balls won, but it was so close that this time it might as well go the other way around.
And actually came down to who went first.
In a sense, yeah.
I couldn't win on my turn, and you probably could have won on your turn.
Yeah. Both, I think both games we played were decided by what happened by the first face off.
Actually, no.
On 8
When if we had called time during your turn. Oh wait, we called time during my turn.
during.
During your turn, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so yeah, you would have had one more turn.
I would have had one more.
Oh, I think they ended the game because it hard timed, because it was 3 minutes
Oh,
left,
they had no
like,
choice.
yeah, it was 3 minutes left 10 minutes ago, so, or, well,
Yeah.
7 minutes ago.
I don't have dudes over there to actually fight.
Yeah, but you had Twilight and Spike to move stuff on.
How was that? I had 3.
Yeah.
So I have to go. I have to go
Move some on my
something
turn.
over.
And then get more AT ready.
Actually, no. I have to move something over.
Yeah,
Right?
move his thing first.
Yeah.
to the-
Well, no, it didn't matter because I did it on the first turn.
Yeah, you do that one.
Yeah.
So I move something over, and then on
your
my turn, I have to move something over and hope that
You
my
can beat
flurry card
him.
gets there.
Oh yeah. With the
That's for the YOLO play. The safe play is to move something over here so I can fight Chrysalis with 1 character
And fight them both. Oh,
and score the 1 point. Guaranteed.
oh yeah, because you was guess.
right.
Yeah. And
But
then
you were at 10, so I would put you at 11. And if you beat Nightmare Moon, you'd go up to 14.
I can't beat my Road 1. I can try. But you know, you got the RNG. You gotta know, like I died at base also all the time.
There are chaos. Like
there are.
Ardeen is there.
Still being in top 4 is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of which I just carded 3 Nightmare.
And it was a mirror match, it really could have gone the other way, either way.
Yeah, losing to your own deck is like not that big of a deal. There's a 50% chance.
Yeah, my deck
wins
wins.
either way.
Yeah, Poppy wins either way.
3 dash and Pinkie Pie.
Like, even if I was playing Tempest Blue White and someone was playing the exact same deck against me, I would be happy to lose. That means my deck does well.
Oh yeah, the only match.
Okay, the big finale. Now they switch sides, so maybe Richard will win.
Haha, very different now.
The,
Yeah, we had Vinyl now on the right. We didn't have not Vinyl on the right, right?
Oh, yeah. Final has been on the right every time.
So in this matchup, I think the best way for Tempest White to win would be to get a Sea Poppy in the discard pile and Destiny Drain it.
I think
That
what
would
I
go a
think
long
what
way.
GP did last time, he Destiny drained belly flop, and it was the only removal that deck has really at immediate speed.
Yeah, and then Grandpa's was just able to kind of use his action gens and miss main to win quickly enough.
Yeah. I mean, C-Pop is definitely a good target, but belly flop is very nice as well.
And there's like a raider charging her, and she's like, "You killed Santa Claus." There's a bubbles in the deck.
This is true. I suppose it would. He does have 2 in the deck, so if he's lucky enough to draw both of them, he could get rid of both of them.
But yeah, if Grandpa's manages to like set up a wall, I don't think Richard can really bust through the wall. And C-Pop still gives him like that points outlet, like the way to score points even through the wall. And so yeah, Destiny draining C-Poppy is also a very good option.
Yeah, like if he gets a grubber out and he happens to start with a Destiny Drain, he can hit either belly flop or Poppy, and then already be in a good position because he's removed key cards that Richard will need to win.
Mm-hmm.
You pick, sir. Odd or even? Odd.
He got odd. I'm so proud. He got the guess right.
Too bad he can't exhaust C-Poppy now. Now the question, if like C-Poppy effect was on the main, would you be able to exhaust it if you guessed correctly who goes first?
Oh, wow. What a question. Maybe. But
Or
luckily,
on the problem?
it would only be on the boosted side, hopefully.
Now let's make a starting problem with C-Poppy effect, why not?
Oh my goodness.
Actually, no. Luck to be on my
I like the token in the center of the screen, it brings me joy.
Done for me. All the skills. All the skills. You want luck? No luck for you.
Trading Tradition start. I think... Did all decks start with Trading Traditions across both streams? I know Nurturing Nature started with Searching High and Low, but I think that's the only one?
Paradox Pony started with Infiltrating the Hive.
Oh yeah, and Chrysalis started with Winter Startup. Okay, it's not
Oh,
as
yes.
bad. It's not as bad as I thought. He has C-Poppy in his starting hand. I don't think he has much more than that. He's playing Vinyl though, he can draw cards. And there's Shocking. Brother Maya Shocking.
What is this card? Silver Stream? Who is that even? What is this creature?
monk.
Okay, he decides to flip his main.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. And that seems like what Tempest, or what Grandpa's was banking on, because he held off on using Grubber.
Yeah. It's not like the last time. The last time what happened, he played 2 Angel Wings into Flurry Heart, I think? Not Flurry Heart, but something. It was...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a Flurry
It may have
Heart,
been
yeah.
Flurry Heart, yeah.
He does have the Destiny Drain in hand, so
Yeah, discarding C Poppy with Grubber and then Destiny drawing it might be a very devastating blow.
True.
It would force Richard to have to change his game plan to more of a mid-range strategy.
That is
Yeah.
fine, though, and Destiny draining early is pretty expensive.
Yeah, but Tempest can afford it. Like, you have one problem blocked off by a Troublemaker, and you're in a pretty good shape.
True. But you'd prefer to do the Destiny drain maybe after you've got some action generators out?
GP didn't flip Tempest still.
Yeah, he's got something in mind, and it might just be Destiny drain, as predicted.
I think Richard wants to play Poppy right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good choice. You can't just let him... You can't let Grandpa's do whatever he wants with this game. You gotta start moving.
Yeah, I wonder why he didn't flip. I mean, I would expect Richard to play all he wants to play this turn.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not totally sure either, but he just may have some multi-card plan that he has to do all at once.
Yeah, I can't I see... No, it's just a reflection. For a second I thought he had 3 colors, 2 colors in his hand, and I was like, no.
Aha. Well, that's something interesting.
He doesn't
He's
want
just
his
trying
Troublemaker
to-
to flip.
Make sure no troublemaker. I wonder why. I mean, if it were Nightmare Moon, yeah, that would be devastating for Grandpa's, and maybe that's what he was planning around, is just do whatever he can to avoid a Nightmare Moon.
But now Richard can score point. Oh, no, never mind.
Yep,
Well, that's
that
pretty
will that will turn it a little bit. Good old money.
However, one thing I will say is that Tempest Control really struggles at recurring old money. So if Richard can dismiss it soon, he'll be looking pretty good.
Not this one, though, because there's Trenderhoof and, like, all other things to get old money back. But mostly
true, but-
Trenderhoof, yeah.
Trenderhoof takes time.
Yeah.
Also, Mist Main might not be the most efficient option to use Mist Main, but it is there.
But with Miss Main, Richard can just get his belly flop back.
If it hasn't been
Very true.
misfired, yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, there will be careful planning required if old money needs to be recurred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, don't forget to discard a random card.
Richard really wishes he had 3 actions that turn because he has Pinky's Epiphany in hand, so he could have gotten rid of old money, but he didn't have enough actions to do it. And now Grandpa's gets Meticulous too, which is really nice.
I wonder what he will do with old money. Remove Flurry Heart, probably?
Either's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Richard at least has the option to get rid of old money using Pinky's Epiphany, and he can still play another friend if he wants to.
Or get Organizer's Mac.
True.
Oh, Fiery Friendship.
Very nice.
So what Troublemaker that is? That could be either Grubber or Mimics. Don't think it's
Yeah, it really
Villain.
could. Mimics would probably be better right now, but it's whatever Grandpa's had, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, having Vinyl really helps against Nightmare Moon, because it doesn't actually put you at card disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why vinyl decks are so likely to play her. Also, she's great for flipping vinyl.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Hyper Beams aren't very useful.
Please. It's distracting.
Okay, he's going for more draws. Leaving old money on the table is a pretty big risk, but
It's
draws are also
C-Poppy.
good.
Well, having all of the draw engines gets him closer to being able to get his board state back to where it needs to be, and he also is set up decently for when he does have a safe way to get Poppy to start going off.
I mean, that's fair, but your board is going to look better if old money isn't around.
This is true. It looks
Yeah.
like he might just be deciding to go more of the aggro.
It's
for
just
the
the thing,
time being.
if that Troublemaker is Mimics, he will have even harder time getting rid of old money, so it's either now
Oh,
or
yeah.
never.
That's a good point. You don't want to risk that.
He
Hopefully
might be
it's Grubber.
thinking. He might be thinking it's another. Oh, yeah. He might have thought maybe it was another Nightmare Moon or another, or a Grubber or anything like that.
Maybe.
Okay, he gets a Grubber. And now C-Poppy goes away. And GP has 3 ET left.
And now GP knows to do event. This is really bad for Richard. This game turned around quick.
Yeah, will he play Destiny Drain now? I see no reason not to play it.
Oh, it seems like he hadn't paid for
Oh yeah, then.
exposed yet.
Yeah, naming events make sense here.
Yeah, and now GP basically has free reign to do what he will for the next few turns, and that's bad.
Yeah, and getting back C-Poppy will be expensive.
And the Pinky's Epiphany just got hit from Nightmare Moon.
This is not a good situation to be in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he should have gotten rid of the old money, but I don't think he anticipated that to have been a Mimics.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. I think Nightmare Moon is the best play right now because this is just too good of a board state for GP.
He challenges Mimics. Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
he's going to do.
Of course, you should do that. And he's actually winning at the moment, which is great.
Yeah, makes Grandpa's waste his things. Or
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's really good.
I don't think defending the Mimics would be a good idea here because he's gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he
just
would
don't-
have if he could. I imagine he just doesn't have a one-cost event. This is one of the things with Purple-White is it's slow, so it had a really good setup turn that turn. But then, it doesn't have enough gas right now to be able to defend the Troublemaker. And so if you get an unlucky flip, that's what happens. Now, luckily for Grandpa's, he'll be able to bring that Troublemaker back really soon.
Yeah, all he needs is a portal or. Yeah, the Twilight Sparkle and Rarity exposed, can get it back.
Through the start?
I mean, he can just blue portal in that because this deck has a lot of recursion. Like getting that portal
Yep.
back is no problem.
Let's start my next turn.
Or another Luna's Future.
So this is still a good situation for Richard to be in, but Grandpa's has a lot of options left.
He's still locked off of his events, too.
Yeah. But there aren't many events he wants to play right now. Well, now
Well,
he
there's
does,
one.
but yeah. Another thing is that there's going to be a single face-off in the current state of the board, which I don't think Richard necessarily wants.
I'll just
It's okay for him.
come to school. No, actually, before I do that, I will go ahead and take C. Or a big here, more powerful face.
Okay, so he wants to guarantee the win. That's fair.
Yeah, he would, like... Grandpa's deck is not quick to score points, so... He really wants some points. Because that's what happened last time. Grandpa's barely catched up to Richard.
Yeah, but he has a lot more time this time around.
Yeah. But he also doesn't have, like, 3 covers to covers under a Troublemaker. Well, 2.
That's true. It's not as good a start. While starting with old money is really cool, it's also incredibly slow. However, the fact that old money has survived so long means that this Meticulous has probably turned Grandpa's hand into pure gold.
Well, Nightmare Moon does it the other way around, too. Like,
That's true, but
so
one of the
right
nice
now it
things
was
with-
irrelevant. Like, I don't think he needed that barrel.
Yeah. With Meticulous too, you can keep the card that you want one card under where you draw, so that you can just main phase draw
There
it
goes
if you
Destiny Drake.
really need to.
I search your hand deck and discard pile for all
This one right here is banished. And
discard pile, row, hand.
Okay, no more C-Poppy win condition, so all Richard has to do now is just confront and face off as much as possible.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be able to beat some troublemakers, because purple-white brings a lot of troublemakers.
Yeah, do you switch to a standard troublemaker control strategy here, now that you know that Poppy's out of the game?
I don't think you do. Like, you don't try to out-control purple-white. Because,
Right.
No, you won't out-control purple-white, so I think what he should just play straight aggro here, I think.
Yep.
I was more referring to, does GP just go to a hard troublemaker lock?
Oh.
Because
Yeah? I mean, that's basically his game should... that's the game plan with his deck all the time, pretty much, I think.
the Mimics is back, so
Yep. So, as predicted, Grandpa's is able to recover, and now, once again, things are looking rough.
He could try to defeat those troublemakers, like... Grandpa's doesn't have infinite AT, so he could try to go for Mimics and then go for Nightmare Moon, or the other way around, and force GP to respond in one situation and not being able to respond in the other one.
That's true. The problem is GP's gonna have infinite AT pretty soon. It's only gonna take a couple of turns for him to be set up past what Richard can counter.
and the fact that he keeps getting his epiphanies hit is not helping. The belly
Yeah.
flop might help him though, if it wasn't for the fact that Mimics is currently making that cost more AT than he has available.
Right.
And Flurry Heart doesn't help him out either right now.
belly flop.
Oh, I must have been mistaken on how many he actually had there.
Gets rid of exposed and not all money. Interesting. Aha, that's Nightmare Moon. Yeah, I mean, his hand is pretty garbage, what you would say, because Hyper Beams aren't useful in this matchup for him. So
Yeah.
he might as well play Nightmare Moon and...
Hope for something better. Yeah, because what do you... I think the only option you really have in this matchup would be the Fire Friendship that's currently in play, and if he had a Singing Barrel, maybe that, but that's not very good value.
I don't quite see why Exposed was the target there. Exposed can't bring any troublemakers through a Nightmare Moon.
she
Basically,
can,
the-
if it's another epic, she can replace
Yeah,
Nightmare Moon.
But the only epic that GP has is more Nightmare Moons.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
fair. And Old Money can banish Nightmare Moon just as well, too.
And Old Money has Meticulous too, which is a really, really good effect. Even though it's hard to see it explicitly that it's been helping GP, it's probably been helping him immensely.
Yeah, Meticulous 2 is amazing. I love it.
So I think paying so much to hit a card that's not being the most useful on GP's board is really gonna hurt in the long run.
But we'll see what Richard is up to.
I need to start scoring points again.
GP loses Misfire, cracking the case, and something else.
At this point, GP actually has a really clear plan to victory because Richard's deck, the only troublemaker response that is in RNG.deck is epics. But the thing is, as a purple-white control deck, you can just prevent those epics from ever going away again and just eventually win by Mistmain.
Yeah, if he's able to acquire Mistmains, then these Nightmare Moons are actually gonna really help him.
And the thing is, he's going to acquire Mistmain eventually, especially with Meticulous. It won't take very long.
Yeah, that's the thing. GP has a lot of recursion, Richard doesn't, so discard's helping GP more than Richard.
The idea of flipping the board and getting rid of Mimics is probably still the right one for Richard because of how devastating those Mimics are. But the problem is, this is a long game board state, and GP always is going to win the long game, especially now that C Poppy is banished.
Okay, Old Money is gone now, so that helps.
That's very good.
I'm wondering if he's trying to maybe set up a state where he can beat down the Nightmare Moons himself.
In fact, I think he has to win this game.
I also think, yeah, maybe he won't. So I think he's trying to set up the game where he can defeat Nightmare Moon, and where like he stalls the game enough because he's ahead on points now. And even though GP like is less at disadvantage for discarding something from Nightmare Moon, he's still at disadvantage. Like it slows him down significantly, discarding 2 cards every turn, and he has to get like Old Money or something and cracking the case to get rid of Nightmare Moon.
Well, he could probably get either of them back now.
Yeah,
Thunderhoof
that's
is quite helpful.
yeah. Yeah, even if Richard gets rid of Thunderhoof, GP can still bring something back.
Yeah, this is the problem of waiting too long to set up a favorable board state against a Meticulous deck. They probably found what they needed.
Well, right now it was more or less random because of Nightmare Moons, but yeah.
That's a good point. Maybe I'm just silly.
Okay, he brings back cracking the case, which makes sense. I think he played Luna's Future, right?
Yeah, he did.
Nightmare Moon is gone. Pinky and Rainbow Dash is gone, which is sad. It's a good aggro card.
Yeah, it would definitely be helpful here, just bringing things up so you can start trying to fight these Nightmare Moons.
The problem is now that he has a cracking the case, if he's gonna lose the face off, he'll just banish the Nightmare Moon.
Yeah,
It seems like that cracking the case might be his only card in hand, so
Yeah, I think-
Rampos is going to be forced to play it before his next Troublemaker phase.
yeah, I think that's what they want AT for. But it's still like it stalled the game enough, even if that Grandpa's like even if he will play cracking the case. It slowed the game down, and Grandpa's wasted a lot of things to get rid of that Nightmare Moon.
Yeah, it was absolutely a favorable play to get rid of the Mimics, play the Nightmare Moon, and get rid of GP's board. But I think he just is versatile enough that GP's not going to mind in the long run. And there's still 20 minutes left in this match or something.
Yeah,
If this match were any shorter, if it were 35 or even 45 minutes, it'd probably be okay. But it seems like this one was a bit longer.
Score nothing your turn.
okay, he does the crack.
Now he can get Mimics back.
If he gets something to get them back. I think he drew a portal there. That's a lucky draw.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
What he will get back though? Expose is a really good thing.
Maybe just Mimics itself, since he's only going to have one action, right?
Yeah, but playing Mimics still one turn delay, so might as well just get exposed. Oh yeah, no,
That's
they
true,
can
but
they can
You
discard.
don't want to wait through
Yeah.
the Nightmare Moon.
Well, yeah.
Oh, he has to discard it to Nightmare Moon, so no, he doesn't get a portal.
Oh, well.
Unless he wanted to play it immediately
Yeah.
Yeah, he
and
could
get
have played
something
it.
back, but it looks like he decided that was not a good play.
And he
Yeah,
drew
because
Troublemaker.
He didn't have enough actions to do it immediately. Well, drawing a Troublemaker's not bad.
I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, GP is quite stalled enough. He has only 2 ET and no cards in hand. Like, that's a very good position for Richard to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is, I'm not sure how many dismissal effects Richard has left in his deck. So,
Yeah.
eventually, GP is going to get back to full steam.
Oh yeah, but
There are 2 belly flops left.
I think there's only one belly flop left. He played 2, I believe.
Oh, he's played 2. I know that we've seen 2 Pinky's Epiphanies go away.
Yeah.
So the Pinky's Epiphanies are gone.
Nightmare
So
Moons are gone.
potentially 1 belly flop left.
That's not a lot of gas left in the deck.
That's not, but still, like, that's the thing. GP would come back eventually. Like, that's that will happen no matter what. That's inevitable. And
Right.
slowing the game right now is still like a very good thing because
Absolutely.
it's
It's
better
the
to happen
best-case
later
scenario.
than now.
Drawing a Fire of Friendship there means he's safe from a Nightmare Moon discard for at least 1 more turn.
Which is really nice. Now, if GP has a grubber, then it doesn't help too much. That's quite helpful.
Party Mare first. Big Clear Heart's already been done. Mr. Odd. Angel Wings. Mr. Odd.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He'll still confront the problem though.
Isn't
But yeah.
Pinky and Rainbow Dash only 2 strength? well, that'll
she
do it.
is only 2 strength.
Yeah,
Well,
but
now you've got
he
more than
read
enough.
it finally, yeah.
I had forgotten about the lead pony badge.
He'll still rather have friends at his problem because of that troublemaker.
Yeah. But this is still a good situation to be, because
Yeah.
there's not really any harm fighting that Nightmare Moon, since you just move back Party Mare if you lose, and then Party Mare just moves back up.
Oh, I meant the troublemaker that Grumpos has, and the thing is... Oh, it's a grubber. And the thing is that GP won't have too much disruption available, because he has to draw it all. Like, he has to draw it, which is unlikely, and then he should have enough AT left to actually play it, which is... Depends on how well he draws, if he does draw.
Yeah, so Richard at this point is actually in a good position to fight both troublemakers.
So,
Ooh.
one interesting thing to note is all 3 Nightmare Moons are accounted for on Richard's side, so that means that last... Actually, wait, no it is not. Ignore me. That is GP's Nightmare Moon.
He discarded 2 of Nightmare Moons, so yeah, all of the Nightmare Moons are gone now from Richard's side.
So that means that that face-down troublemaker that's under GP's Nightmare Moon is either a yellow parasite or a chrysalis. If it's a chrysalis, then having those 2 friends there might not be ideal for him, so...
Though he could probably just double if
Yeah,
he got rid of the Nightmare Moon. But GP getting those 2 action gens, it's definitely very late. He would have liked them any earlier than this, but it still is going to help.
yeah.
If Richard can break through the troublemaker wall right now, it's probably going to be quick enough that Richard could still win. But, I mean...
Oh, it will be
hard to
miraculous
beat.
if he wins Nightmare Moon now.
Exactly.
Because that will give him 3 points, and then he can go for a D4, and GP has no say about that.
Yeah.
He wins
Very good
Grubber. Did they move? Yeah, I think they moved Patimare. Well, moved. She didn't move. Four and 7. I
It's
don't.
very edge case because you're not going to win, almost certainly, but you could.
Oh,
Ooh, the
a chaos
chaos,
effect.
that's
Yeah,
huge.
that's huge. Yeah. GB flipped only 2 as well, so he's at 9.
So Richard only needs 3 more strength at that problem, and the chaotic effect moves 2 random friends, right?
I think it moves 1.
Just 1.
Oh, okay.
So
So he
the
needs to hope
target-
that he can tie by moving like DJ over.
Yeah, Flurry Heart doesn't help. Oh, Flurry Heart already triggered from Patimare.
Yeah,
Or didn't she? Yeah, Patimare didn't move, so...
she must have.
No, if Patimare didn't move...
Oh, if Party Man
yeah.
didn't move, yeah.
Okay, seems like he lost. Oh, it'll be amazing if he won this.
That would. And he was not too far, but it's also not a big deal because you move
Yeah.
Party Mare home. And now you're just guaranteeing that you get the Traveler.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless Flurry does something.
Unless Flurry messes it all up.
I wonder what's the time left, because it's kinda important right now. Grandpa's is still at 1 point.
Yeah, it's quite important. If it's
And He
10 minutes
flipped
or
his
less?
miss main.
10 minutes or less and I'd be sweating. And it might be around that time.
I'll ask. I just look at the grandpa's empty hands and it makes me sad.
Final has been really helpful for Richard thus far, but if the game goes much longer, it's going to become a liability because Richard is about to mill.
Yeah. But if the game goes for longer, it like he's still at disadvantage because that's what control does.
That's true.
And there's 13 minutes left, it appears.
That's a lot of time. Grandpa's doesn't need to sweat yet.
Redo that last one.
Yeah.
So okay, 118 for over here. But this one is like this here. And I still contend that I could ignore that optional ability.
Unexhaust DJ. Do it.
Yeah, just playing every single thing you can in the hopes of fighting Nightmare Moon, I think that's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you fight Nightmare Moon and win, the game is yours.
And if you know that there's Power Sprite there, having Power Sprite there is the same as having Nightmare Moon for GP.
Yeah.
Okay, brings him up to 8, I believe.
Okay, this is GP's time to shine.
Yeah, he has all of the AT gen.
This is where he really gets to start shaping how the end of the game looks.
That's
And
Minuet.
if he gets the right cards right now, ooh, Minuet.
Minuet can
Expensive,
bring...
but powerful.
Yeah, she can... he can use Minuet to banish, like, Starlight.
Exactly, and then it only costs 2 to get any recursion.
Yeah, because he can bring anything back and Starlight can be exhausted for AT later. Yeah, I think that's what he's counting right now.
The option to recur any card you want is really nice here.
Okay, what's he's gonna copy? Starlight.
Starlight? Really? Not cover to cover? I suppose if you want the strength.
But she will have strength anyway.
Well,
so
if you're
it's...
cover to cover, then you have to exhaust in the main phase, and that is a
Yeah.
liability.
He wants a face-off, it seems.
Yeah, he's got to start scoring. That's an undeniable fact here.
So he will have a home limit.
Okay,
I wonder.
That's
I
reasonable.
wonder if he wants a home limit just to like trigger Trenderhoof or no.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to retire Minuet.
I don't know if he has enough AT to do that, though.
Oh yeah,
Well,
he has no
two
AT.
immediate AT gens, so he'll get 2 back.
There to a random problem is the first move of your turn. Okay, so it is just
Did he?
we don't care.
Did he? Yeah, he did flip Pinky and Dash again.
Yeah, on the second flip it looks like, because they tied the first.
3, which is here. There's only one baby here.
Okay, that's really helpful. Richard got to move up a party mare.
Yeah, Traveler.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
0.
Hilarious. First time I've ever dicked out. Face off.
So wait, what just happened?
Yeah, I'm
How
not
did
sure.
GP flip 4 times?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So there were a couple ties in those flips,
Oh.
and then Richard ran out of cards in his deck. So GP flipped again. It was a cover to cover, so it's still a tie. So he flips one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, that lucky person. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was so close. Like, if Richard got that point, it'd be really useful for him.
Yeah, if if he had one more card in his deck, he would have gotten that. And that's a 2-point swing, which is probably pretty meaningful. Have we replaced that problem and it's a new secret to every pony, or did it just not move yet?
I'm not sure. I think it is new one. Oh, he exhausted Starlight and Chrysalis to get the portal
Yeah.
back. That portal isn't useful yet, though.
Minuet with just a 3-cost recursion tool. Play her and retire her.
He might discard that portal at the start of his next turn, unless he plays it. But what do you play it on?
I mean, whatever you like. There are a number of pretty good options. You could hit like one of Richard's cards just to
Yeah, but he can
prevent
only
him
do
from
it at
fighting
the
Nightmare Moon.
he can only do it at the start of his turn. He has only 180 now.
This is true.
So he either plays it at the start of his turn on
Oh, yeah.
something which I don't know. There's nothing really to hit there, or he discards it. Well, potentially at least.
He could play it on a unicorn and recycle something else. Though that's
Yeah,
a little
then-
convoluted.
I mean, then that something else will be discarded instead, which is, huh?
Pages asks, what has he done? Good question, Pages.
And meanwhile, the time ticks.
Yeah, GP has not found his missed mains yet, and he really would have liked to.
Yeah, Miss Main is all he wants here, really. He won Nightmare Moon. Which is brings him up to 11. He can do a double face-off now to 14. That will, however, remove half of his board, so GP might just lock him at 14 points, potentially, but
That will ultimately depend on what he draws at the start of his next turn.
yeah. He does have a lot of 80 gen though, there's like 3 18 gens there. And he can portal Trenderhoof to get something.
Yeah. Looking at his deck list, Grandpa's only has 2 missed mains, so the fact that he flipped one of them and it's on the bottom of his deck is actually catastrophic.
Yeah, seems like Richard is going for a double face-off. Which makes sense.
Yeah, I think the double face-off is the only option here. It puts you at 14, which means that if you just so happen to break through at least one part of the wall that GP will inevitably put up,
Yeah.
he'll win.
And he flips a
Yeah.
portal.
At this point, even though I was so pro Tempest Control this whole time, it really looks like Richard can pull this through. Blackmail hurts though.
Oh yeah. That's Richard's troublemaker though. And that problem is quite easy to confront on his side.
Yeah, so Richard still has plenty of options here.
It also stops Grampos from scoring many points.
Oh, that's actually really important. I mean, as we said, Mistmane isn't going to be back in Grandpa's control for a while, but just leaving that problem out for the rest of this game would mean that Richard kind of has hedged all of his bets and he can't lose without seeing it coming.
Yeah, it will take a while for GP to catch up, and I think GP honestly doesn't have enough time to do that. Like,
At this point, it's looking really rough.
yeah, I think like it's
Especially
about
if that's a Paris Sprite.
it's around
He
5
does
minutes
have a
left.
Mistmane in hand, though.
He's got to play it. He has no
Yeah.
choice
Yeah,
here.
there is no other option now.
But this gives him a lot of options, because he gets to draw something great, like old money, perhaps.
Or exposed
Or
for mimics.
Exposed. Exposed. Yeah, that's great, because Exposed is a unicorn, and he has Portal in hand, so he can just...
Do you take
Very
a card as
quickly.
Richard?
It's probably fine to do so, yeah. A kill card could be good.
I don't think it's that
However-
fine, like 1 point is a lot right now.
That's
Especially-
true, but stopping Grandpa's momentum is also a lot. The problem is, if you choose a main phase event, Grandpa's is just going to put up a Mimics.
No, I think what's gonna happen is that Grandpa's will just move Trenderhoof to Miss Main. So if he gets rid of Miss Main, I don't know.
And he takes a belly flop back, which gives him an opportunity to deal with Grandpa's. If
Alright,
he looks
so
like he's
he's-
going to get too far ahead.
He's using this kill on Trenderhoof. That's reasonable. Unfortunately, Trenderhoof can trigger Trenderhoof.
Yeah, but great. Like you'd rather have Miss Main on the board than a discard pile. Thankfully,
Yes,
Grandpa's
but
can't
it's
play
only
old
the
money.
difference of 2 actions. Hitting Mist Main isn't actually that damaging.
Oh, Mimics or Grubber? Probably.
Why not both? He has a
Well,
portal.
Yeah, and he also has to get rid of the belly flop that he knows he just drew.
Well, Richard had played that belly flop.
Oh, right.
Chrysalis. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to see another villain.
Portal makes sense. On Starlight?
Smithers says that 1 point for Grandpa's isn't that much. And I agree.
Oh no, I
Because-
reset the scores accidentally.
Because at this point, Grandpa's is perilously close to getting a total lock, and with Mistmane he can score maybe 4 points a turn, since he also has blackmail. So
Okay.
Richard needs to do whatever he can to prevent that eventuality.
The double grubber. It looks like he portaled Chrysalis and
It's called-
switched the ability
yeah.
to exposed.
Very clever.
To confront the problem, yeah.
Now that will mean that. Well, I guess there's a chance that he can win a face-off against one of the grubbers and potentially score a point and prevent blackmail.
I will concede the game at this point.
Okay, he concedes.
Okay.
It goes to time. Wow. All right, random.deck. You won this dang tournament.
Oh, they're still continuing. I guess they want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is time, like in... oh yeah, it is time, so... GP just loses straight.
This is the problem with starting with old money. That's what GP did at the start of this game, is he played old money, and he got really unlucky in that he didn't get either of his action gens until maybe 10 or 12 turns in, something ridiculously long. And when you don't have the action gens, the fact that your deck is slow can catch up to you. I still think that Grandpa's played very well,
Oh yeah.
and that he has put up a number of really impressive locks.
I'll take the point from it. That's great.
One to Swift here, and two.
But random.deck just kind of scored enough points early and actually managed to win a lot of these troublemaker fights, which
Yeah, and it-
Grandpa's is probably not super happy about.
It also won almost, like, in time, like... 14 points is not that far from 15.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Probably-
far now, but yeah.
Yeah. With no more deck, it's pretty hard for Richard to do very much.
580. I'll admit to this one. That is
GP, you'll discard this card anyway, unless it's immediate.
Oh, he just drew a bunch? Yeah. He milled himself. That's perfect. Yellow first, right? Random triggers. Don't fire friendship.
Ooh,
Oh,
fire friendship.
Very nice.
The same as all the rest.
I think the decision to play that Nightmare Moon that Richard made about halfway through this game ended up being a lot better than I anticipated. I thought
Yeah.
it would be good, but getting rid of Grandpa's hand after Grandpa's had been sitting on Meticulous for so long, probably that's the reason why Grandpa's looked neutered for the rest of this game.
Yeah, it slowed down Grandpa's enough, while Richard was being able to keep up his hand advantage with Vinyl.
Yeah, Vinyl and 2 lead pony badges. Just infinite draws.
Like, yeah, he did mill himself in the end, and now it doesn't look so shiny. But it doesn't matter, the game has ended.
Right, you've got a time limit. If there were no time limit on this game, mill becomes a huge risk. But as it stands, it means you get to see all of your cards, which is pretty good.
Or 3 or more. I only need to flip a 3. Scores.
My turn. Ready.
I think I've been pretty bad at predicting who is going to win these fights.
That's why I don't predict.
That's what I'm here for, to look dumb.
And no discard.
I think we all collectively agreed that it could have gone either way.
Yeah, that's true. This was pretty close the whole time.
Well-
I did anticipate that GP would have gotten a faster start, but also finding the AT gens late definitely didn't help.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And pointlessly move it back up. And
Well, eminently, at least you guessed the main correctly.
I did.
The Vinyl
It's
did
nice.
indeed
It
won.
feels good.
But
I
it
would
was
not
not the
have said it was
Vinyl
gonna
you
be
were betting on, yeah.
This deck in particular.
Manage to beat Rubber next turn. If I
because if you ever flip a 2, then I'm okay. So, pay 1 to move, switch back up. And then just sit in my castle chamber counting my tokens.
Sounds good. Okay. So let's. The hope
So if GP found any disruption now, he's pretty safe.
Yeah, the game just ends as soon as he finds a bounce card. Or
It's a
thunder.
portal.
Yep.
That'll do it.
that time block.
Well, in infinite time, Richard still made it to 14, which is impressive. And in the very finite time we did see, Richard managed to win this.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, Poppy was victorious.
Harmony is Poppy.
Cursive. You want to help Richard with this core deck?
It was a yellow. It was a yellow blue.
I wonder what Cursed played. I'll ask him on Meticulous Talks.
And then we kind
We'll probably discuss it. Because we haven't seen him on stream.
So we are currently an hour behind schedule. That's impressive.
It's because
Are
there
we?
were only one control deck.
The core tournament starts in about an hour, as far as I can see. At 2:30, and it's 1:30 now.
Yeah, it is in an hour.
So, should we break?
Oh yeah, we will
Come back.
definitely break, yeah. But
Do the best we can to eat some lunch.
okay, so that was our core event for today.
You mean our Harmony event?
Yeah, yes. So, it's been our Harmony event for today. Poppy won. I actually didn't see that one coming. Yeah, it was quite surprising for me. Or quite...
And-
That was random.
It was
Very-
indeed random. Everyone's slow clap in stream.
One thing I have to say is the fact that there were 2 Poppies wasn't even the reason it won, because Poppy knocked itself out of this tournament. Either Poppy could have won this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredibly impressive, and I have no idea how it happened.
Oh well, thank you everyone for watching the stream today with us. We're going to stream Core in an hour. Core will have only Swiss pairings, no top 8 cut. So there's that. And yeah.
We will see everyone back here very shortly.
All right.
Please join us in an hour. Bye!